Well, are we live now?
Yes, we are.
Well, that's fantastic. We're live here. I'm not Jake Green with Liberty Libations, and I'm adding these to my channels right now as everybody opens up their drink. What's everybody drinking today? Go ahead and shout it out.
I got some Blue Moon Mango Wheat.
Blue Moon Mango Wheat.
Pearl and Pine Brewery. Shout out to them out of Sonoya, Georgia. This is one of their IPAs.
Is that a heavy IPA? Is it a light IPA?
It's an Imperial, yeah. So it's like a 8%er.
It's a privileged IPA then, Imperial.
Imperial, yeah.
No, it's an IPA with an emphasis on the P.
All right, fantastic. So I'm having a coffee.
Nice.
That's what gets me high.
I'm doing a redneck taste comparison of High Life and Natty Light.
Oh yeah, keeping it classy.
Really? So, which one do you like better so far?
I haven't had a Natty Light since college, I think. So,
right.
Well, and then
Natty Light was the go-to in college.
Probably the Miller.
I'm going to switch to the hard stuff later too. The Liquid Death, Dr. Death. I know Tim Pool hates on these guys, but this is delicious.
Is that water?
It's like flavored sparkling water. Yeah.
I've never seen you drink a water.
I usually keep a water on deck. Yeah.
Yeah. I only drink hot water with tea. That's all I drink.
Yeah.
Oh, I said hot water. He had like a.
Oh yeah. I got that too.
Oh, you got,
yeah.
See, yep.
All right, so I've added this to my stream now, so we can cut the BS, guys.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to Liberty Libations again. I am not Jake Green, and we're here to talk about war. I think there's been some discussion of war. The Easter Bunny's been involved. Apparently, there's been ceasefires and then ends of ceasefires, and who knows what's going on today. What is the first topic we're going to be discussing today? Zach in the producer room. I believe it's the end of civilization post that Trump put out there, which I have here. I'm going to read that exactly because I don't want to misquote the president. What exactly was it that he tweeted from? He truthed, I should say. Yeah, he truthed. Did he put that in red like that? That's great if he did that. I said, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. And he said, I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, not a regime change war, we have to remind everybody, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionary, wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. One of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. So that's the first time I've read that quote full. Personally, I've heard references to it. It's interesting to me because at the end of it right there, the 47 years of extortion, I have heard from a number of friends who support anything Trump says. And I just wondered where that came from. I didn't realize it came directly from Trump himself. But my opinion of this is that he thought this was a Discord gaming chat and he was talking about the game Civilization.
That's a good take.
And everybody just got confused. What do you guys think? Starting with you, Zane.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing he won't have to send any of his workers in to clean up all that radioactive waste when you nuke someone in Civ. Sorry, that right. I should not have made that joke. I apologize. As soon as it left my mouth, I realized how nerdy it was.
I do that like 3 times an episode. So what do you do?
Anyway, so it's like 2 different people wrote that tweet, because like an entire civilization will die tonight. This is like 2,000 years of Persian history you're threatening to wipe off the map. And then you're like, well, but then we're going to get regime change. So it's not really the whole civilization. It's just some people that I don't like. Oh, but by the way, this is definitely going to happen, where we're going to wipe out this whole civilization, unless it doesn't happen. But all the Iranians are so terrible. They've been screwing us over for 47 years. Oh, but God bless them, by the way. It's like, how does he?
Pretty bipolar.
Well, he's speaking to two different audiences, it sounds like to me. It's one of them is I don't know enough about Iran, but it seems like he's speaking to the regime that he doesn't want to take over, maybe the Ayatollah's son, who he says is gay. I don't know, but he wants the more moderate voices to prevail. I'm not sure. Steven, what do you think?
So, it's like, to me, someone sneezed and then you slap the shit out of them and then go, God bless you.
Yeah.
I mean, that entire tweet was an oxymoron, and it's like it's like different people are
Wow. So is he frozen for me too? For you guys too?
Oh, I'm back. I'm back. I was like, holy crap, bad timing. So I mean, like, even Alex Jones and Marjorie Taylor Greene, they're going out against Trump now because it's like he's a different person. So does he have dementia? Because they're talking about his ankles are swollen, which that's been the narrative since the last time he went to a UFC fight.
Is that a marker of dementia?
Yeah, well, one of the ringside girls said that he smelled like urine. And she saw the catheter that was run down the side of his leg.
Wait a minute.
So that started the whole narrative of like he's unwell.
That's
so, like,
not to get off topic. He smelled like urine. Someone reported.
Yes, one of the UFC ringside girls.
His own
our resident IPA
That's a great
expert
question,
would know about that.
That's right. Yeah.
Whose urine was it? A Russian prostitute?
Is he in poor health, or is he just into golden showers? Like, we don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's something you got to wonder, because it's because Alex Jones was saying it was like a light bulb flickers out, right? Like it'll go dim and then it'll come back and then it'll kind of just fade and flicker and then it just goes off. And that's been every time you put a microphone in front of this man's face for the last 5 weeks, you get different messages.
Yeah, and he's been sounding older lately.
It's consistently inconsistent out of him, because it used to be it would sound crazy at first. It would change a little bit because that's just the art of the deal. Like you lead with like the craziest thing you can, and so then that way the negotiation is what you wanted to begin with.
You lead with the end of civilization as we know it, and then you go into whatever else you wanted to say. Yeah,
we got a wonderful letter from the Iranians.
Yeah, and then the ceasefire lasts 45 minutes.
Yeah. So the art of the deal angle of it, you could always if someone is starting to lose their cognitive abilities, you could always, I guess, explain it through the art of the deal if his people are wanting to frame it that way. But he does do what you described. He predictably does that big, threat and then pulls it back. And that is, I used to tell people, why are you surprised by Trump? Just read his book. And their first thing is, he didn't write the book. Okay, fine. But that is, he walked around, somebody wrote it for him as he dictated. This is how he operates and has operated.
That would be a terrible
That's almost
job.
Predictable, though. Like, that's almost predictable. So an argument could be that this is, you have to throw a wrench in your own strategy that people have come to be familiar with. And it did feel to me, I saw that tweet and I didn't read all of it, or that truth. I didn't read all of it because I rolled my eyes and I was like, okay, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. People are going to freak out. And then something much more, just like a negotiation, smaller is going to happen. Then it just all seems very predictable to me. But it seems to me like he's trying to speak to two fragmented parts of Iran. And I think looking at Iran or any place as a uniform, one and the same, everybody has the same beliefs. People try and speak to different parts of the population. Now, I don't know that he's doing it successfully, or that the representation of what the people that they position him to be speaking to actually believe, but that seems to be what they're trying to make it seem like to me. I have no idea. What do you think, Alden?
Dude, I've stopped trying to make sense of this guy's tweets a long time ago or whatever, and it's annoying that he's using it as if it's like a press conference platform, and it's like, no, you're on like social media. This is not the same thing. And
That
like
he's truthing.
Yeah. And just he'll start with one thing where it's like a line where he's like, this is, like you were saying, it's like directed at multiple people, and like he'll start like it's directed at Iran, and then he'll do another sentence where he kind of pulls back, and it's almost like this one's more for like the American people reading this, and this one's for this audience, but it doesn't, it's not zippered together well, and it's just who fucking knows with this guy. Even before he was like potentially, getting older and more. Honestly, the way this guy has just been using social media to like get messages across, for me, was always just like a lot of just toilet nonsense where he's just sitting on the can at fucking 1 a.m. and just being like, I don't know, man.
Right.
Well, yeah, exactly. And
for
most of the past decade, like the tweets with the completely random capitalization where he just flames everyone and doesn't really make sense, honestly has been hilarious. But
entertaining, sure, yeah.
When you're actually in the middle of a regime change war and you're actually threatening to blow up another country with nuclear weapons, it is not funny anymore. No. Because you are actually the president, you're actually the commander-in-chief, and you're actually putting out social media posts with inconsistent capitalization in which you're saying we're about to blow up millions of people. That's not, like, it's not funny.
No.
But like I said right when he launched this war, it's like he's perfectly living out the life of a Shakespearean tragic character, where he had his first term, his first term ends in ignominy. He has the most epic comeback in American political history, and he's completely wasted it again on this war and everything else that he's done or failed to do throughout his second term. But like even beyond that, like I've heard more and more people reporting that he's essentially gone full King Lear mode, where like people are apparently not allowed to like give him bad information. The only information that can get through to him is like how great the war is going. Like he's possibly like actually losing his mind. It's like, this is like, when I've seen approval ratings before about like on Trump, not that I've a big fan of Trump, but I've previously wanted Trump's approval to be higher rather than lower, because most of the people that are disapproving of Trump are idiot leftists who I can't stand. And in comparison to them, Trump, I would rather more people be in favor of Trump. But like this war has actually, like, I want everyone to be saying how opposed to Trump they are, and it's because of this war. It's like, it's stopped like being funny.
Yeah, well, war typically hilarious this time around. And you're right though. So the messaging needs, that's a great point, to be tapered back a little bit because he's a very funny person, right? But if you're leading a war and people are dying, then maybe
I think he forgets that he's the president. Like altogether, and what that means, I think he's just like, this is all just a big like another reality TV show for him or whatever, and like
that's his skill, is the rebranding of everything. You have people who support this war who used to say that they're voting for him because he is not going to get us into another war and he's going to end the foreign wars, but he just rebrands it in a bunch of different ways, I think, to different demographics of people. I think that's why we hear the conflicting messaging coming out from different figures. I think that's strategic. I think you have 5 different people come and convey 5 different messages after it happened, because they're putting fillers out there to see what connects to different audiences. And I think one of those is the religious filter, is the Christian versus Muslim thing. The Christians are under attack, and then you can get people who voted against war, and that's why they selected him, to say, oh my God, my religion's under attack, and now we need to go take care of these Muslims. And I think there's a couple of different other ones too, and this goes back to something that you
Brad,
said.
can I interrupt you real quick?
Yes, please.
So, and like Christians globally actually in fact are under attack, and it's actually American Christian leaders that are completely ignoring it, because all of the Christians that are under attack are like in the Middle East, and the people attacking them or doing things causing them to be attacked are like, I'm not going to point any fingers.
The Jews.
You can probably figure out. You can probably
That's what you're
out.
talking about. Yes. Okay. Yes.
My only point in saying that is that, like, I think like globally that is a concern, but blowing up Iran is not going to do a dang thing to help, and it's just going to make it even worse.
I would agree, but the rhetoric that has come out that has been connected to a lot of it, we've seen the different rhetoric, and the people I've spoken with who were against it, who are now adamantly for it, it is fully based on the appeals of Christian versus Muslims. And they are convinced that Muslims are out to kill all Christians here at home. And that is the justification in their mind for killing. Like I was joking with my friends 6 months ago almost, because I started hearing some of them say it. And I didn't really recognize the theme emerging. Maybe I did, because I would always be like, we don't have to kill all the Muslims, do we? And because some of them would be like, well, and I'm like, come on, dude. And now it's kind of come to fruition a little bit for that group. And it's interesting because of the media landscape, where you can connect to so many different groups of people and kind of niche, niche interest and beliefs through your different screens all the time, that you can convey these. It's like a spider web of propaganda messages, where you have different things hitting different people at the same time. And the foreigner domestic audience, when it comes back, you spoke to, Alden, on that message, that truth that he put out, that's a great question to ask for everything that he puts out. Is he speaking to a domestic audience or a foreign audience? And not even the whole message, but in this part of the message, kind of like the Iran Lego propaganda stuff, which I think was speaking. Who was that speaking to versus the Trump GTA 6 propaganda messaging, which I find all that to be very fascinating. But knowing
Trump
what audience
GTA
they have,
6?
they definitely have an audience in mind. So that's a great question to ask. Steve, you look like you were going to say something right there.
Well, no, the different audiences and different angles that are actually hitting and gaining traction. I've seen one, and this actually came from, I don't know, it looked like it came from MTG on social media, but it was talking about, Kash Patel, with his email getting hacked. It was Iranian hackers that hacked his email.
Yeah.
And then they released, some rather banal
Sexy
details
videos,
about, yeah, whatever. Oh, wow, he's a normal guy in his 20s before he ran the FBI.
Yeah.
But anyways, supposedly the Iranian hackers, so he ran some kind of tracer or had some kind of, like hackback immediate thing that, I guess all the higher ups of the FBI do, that if you hack them, they hack you back immediately. They run a trace route. They figure out who's hacking them at the very least. And it comes back to K Street in Washington, D.C. So they're saying that this is the proxy. This is part of the reason that we're over here in Iran, is because we're fishing out some of this proxy stay behind network that Obama was running, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
And this, because he handed off a pallet of cash. Like, you can't deny that. That prisoner exchange that he botched, where he gave off, what was it, $2 billion in palletized cash? Just pallets of money. Hey, here, give us our Navy guy back that you shouldn't have caught anyways, because we should have had backup. He totally botched that. And then what was it? The stealth UAV that they caught, that they were able to reverse engineer, that apparently was like our greatest thing ever. Now, of course, we're going back 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
They've probably reverse engineered it by now. And that's probably how they have this whole freaking drone army that's just wrecking stuff. Maybe. I don't.
What was it called? The ghost armor?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, at this point, I can believe that over the official narrative, because the people telling us what's official. We just opened with this message that, like, I don't trust that guy to give me the weather report. I'd rather just look out the window and trust my own eyes.
Right. Yeah. That's the problem with really any messaging, but especially during wartime, is accepting anything as the truth is you're going to be accepting something that at the very least is hugely exaggerated. and it can be. There's going to be books and papers and studies written about this time right now, the past 10, 15 years, because of how communication has just become. We're all cyborgs, basically. We can be reached at any moment, which is a propaganda stream. That doesn't mean some things aren't true, but it does mean that it's very difficult to tell what is and is not true through all of this. And going back to the art of the deal thing. So part of the art of the deal is that even though he makes these bombastic claims, is that you have to be willing to follow through with it. Do you guys think that he was willing to end a portion of the civilization over in Iran? Zane, we'll start with you.
So, as has been somewhat widely reported, the way that he got out of having to nuke them or have some kind of lesser bridge and power plant day is by, announcing that he has this 10-point plan that's going to be the basis of negotiations, while neglecting to inform everyone that the 10-point plan from Iran has been on the table for weeks. So,
Interesting.
I suppose possibly the plan all along was we're going to have a lot of bluster about nuking them or blowing up their infrastructure. But then if they don't fall for it, we're just going to take this plan that's already on the table and pretend to the American people like it's new and we just extracted this plan out of them. So it's possible that was the plan. It's possible that they just kind of stumbled into it because he tweeted out something random and didn't actually want to nuke them, which I suppose is an improvement over wanting to nuke them and then doing it. But
yeah, we won't talk about whether everybody believes in nukes or not. I know that's a conspiracy subject.
Is it really?
Oh, the aliens won't let us fire those off.
Oh,
I'll go ahead and say it.
That's a great point, though, Zane.
There's a difference between using nukes and sending nukes into like space, like because they did tests with that. That's a whole thing where they get intercepted when they try to go past a certain point in like the atmosphere or whatever.
Yeah,
but just using them on the ground and shit, like just testing in the ocean and shit happens all the time. Like, so it's different. Never mind.
No, I don't know. I don't know a ton about nukes, but I would like to see I know the effect on allegedly like Chernobyl. That wasn't a nuke, but they have like super dogs and super humans apparently living over there now.
Super
like
spiders.
Generations of.
There's actually there's a new fungus that grew there. That there's a mushroom. It's like some kind of a black mushroom that actually eats it feeds on radiation.
Yeah,
steals it.
Yep.
Yeah,
dude, fungus is crazy. If everything dies on Earth, fungus will be like the last thing alive here. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, because you got that what is it, the aspen tree root ball that covers like 4 states in like Utah, Nevada,
I was
Colorado.
Gonna say, is this the largest living organism thing?
Yeah,
yeah. We know some of the same weird shit. Like,
what? So even more so than roaches. What are we looking at here? Are these protests in Iran?
Oh, I don't know.
This is a video of Iranians. They form human chains around power plants and bridges as Donald Trump warns a whole civilization will die tonight. As Trump issued his most explicit threat yet, videos circulating online show civilians gathering around power stations and key infrastructure across Iran in acts of solidarity ahead of the 8 p.m. deadline. I would say if they believed that this was going to happen, I'd say go somewhere else.
Fair enough.
Well, they were told to support their country harder because keep in mind, the first night all this kicked off, they killed 45,000 of their own people. Like that's not even debated.
That's accepted by all sides of the war that they killed 45,000 of their own people.
That number is not accepted, but it is accepted that there was an extermination event.
What was the purpose of it? People who opposed the regime?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had to quell an uprising. Well, I mean, we're going off of the G7. So again, I don't trust them to give me the damn weather report. So, is it 4,500? I don't know. If you hear the IRGC tell the story, it's a couple hundred. Okay. There were some rabble rousers that had to be put down. But if you talk to people that have family in Iran that are on social media, it was I mean, like there were entire towns that half the town got wiped out.
So there's censorship going on over there, is what you're saying.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a fact. I mean, for the last 47 years, but like even more so, because the first thing that happened was the internet got cut off, and then the IRGC stepped in and tried to block Starlink. And there's only so much of that they can block. And then there's some pirate radio networks. There's still stuff getting out. That's the day and age we live in, where you're not ever going to totally squelch all the information.
So do you guys believe the upright? Oh, go ahead, Zane.
Well, I was just going to say, Stephen, maybe these people are being coerced into it, but I actually can kind of understand where they're coming from. Like, it's like if, like, pointing out to the world stage, you're promising to bomb things that are not military installations. They're like the epitome of civilian targets, like literal power plants and bridges. Like,
so, please don't destroy this. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't think rally, like deciding you're going to go stand next to a power plant in an appeal to the world to say how ridiculous is this that you're threatening to blow this up. I don't think that this is them in support of the regime. I think this is them acting in support of their society, which as good libertarians, we would all recognize the inherent difference between the society and the state.
Well, if Xi Jinping comes on WSB and says that he's going to bomb Lake Horton, which is the reservoir near me, guess where the last place is that I'm going kayaking this weekend?
Lake Horton. That's my guess. That's
right.
Get correct on this show.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I just have so all of the protesting it's so difficult for me to determine or believe any of it is natural. Obviously, I mean, we see people standing outside of something, just like we see people at No Kings marches here, which from our president and our government, and I agree with them on this, you get a few people there, and then some of them are paid, others have nothing to do. They're your grandmothers, the grandkids don't come over anymore. It's a lot of it's very astroturfed and artificial. And then the message coming from the same, government is everything over here is the ones that are opposing the government are natural over there. I don't know what Trump said about this one. I don't know if he's made a comment about the ones opposing by standing at the nuclear power plant. I just so distrustful of any organized gathering that it's hard to kind of make.
I know more about it domestically, but I'm not saying that it's not a thing to have paid crisis actors and protester picketer plants and things like that elsewhere. It probably is. I've been to the websites before where you can hire the damn people, and that's their job is to be the paid picketers and things like that.
Oh, there we go.
It's a thing.
Hey, yeah, facial recognition. How many people at that power plant were at the Boston Marathon?
Let's
just run that one.
Yeah. So one of two things: you go to a protest like that. If you either don't believe it at all, which I personally didn't believe it at all when he said it, or you do believe it 100% and it doesn't matter where you are, you're going to die anyway. It's like a last-ditch effort. Those are the only two, or you're getting paid and you don't believe that's like a third. Like if you're going to a protest, you're not getting paid. You really gotta up your game because somebody there's getting paid. So you need to find out.
Yeah. Like if nuclear holocaust is coming, if you honestly think nuclear holocaust is coming, why would you hide in a bunker? Like what do you possibly want for yourself after all of that fallout? Like,
I don't even get the point of it. The guy's gonna kill, but he sees a few people standing around there. Maybe I won't do it. They look like nice people. Look like Trump people.
Yeah, well, that didn't look like a human chain to me. I mean, that looked like friends and family of IRGC.
And that's probably what it was.
What
did we talk about the school on the previous show? I
don't know.
The girls' Muslim school that was connected to near one of the military bases that I don't know if it's been official who they say hit it. I just know that it was so on the nose on the money for what happens during war. It's like in every war propaganda book, there's some atrocity that happens, and both sides say the other did it, and it's always the same story. One is an errant missile, and they're the ones that target children. We would never do that, but this time it was a little different. I saw some people on social media say it wasn't us. It was an errant missile that they shot. But then we didn't even deny it. we were like, we're investigating it, but we're not the ones that kill children. And that struck me as different. To me, that struck me as something that's...
Well, if it's really BS, you don't have to, like, refute all of that, right? You know, like, if the other side is truly crazy, you don't have to go, that's crazy. You just keep doing what you're doing.
But just tell me you didn't blow up the Muslim children to kill.
Well,
we did talk about it, because I remember you, Alden, pointing out the math.
I was gonna say once we started getting into it, I was like, I do remember this actually. Yeah.
Well, so like when Ukraine was kicking off, you know, we were told that, you know, Russia was bombing schools and hospitals, and then after we're done clutching our pearls about how awful Putin is, you do a little bit of reading and research, and you figure out that there's biolabs 4 stories underground beneath these things. Mm. That Ukraine has just nefariously built hospitals and schools on top of these things, going, they'll never bomb our biolab research.
Yeah. It's like a meat shield, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
A meat shield.
Well, they've really learned a lot from Hamas, haven't they?
Yeah. It's the rules of war. The fact that whenever people start talking about the rules of war in government, I'm just like, there's no rules. There's no rules in war.
Well, there are for the U.S. military. You know, we're the only country that still abides by the Geneva Conventions.
I know, but I bet every country says that to their people, though.
Look, talk to any like Iraq war vets and all that kind of stuff. Now, you know, ignore the fact that, you know, we were throwing our spent DU casings in their reservoirs and poisoning the water supply in Fallujah. Ignore the burn pits. Like actual procedures, you know, during the action.
Ignore this, ignore that, ignore this. Don't talk about that.
But like you're breaking up a riot. Like, you know, you can't. You know, if you're gonna fire a smoke grenade, you know, out of the grenade launcher attachment on your rifle, the guy that's causing the ruckus, you shoot him with it, right? Like that's what common sense would say. But no, you've got to glance it off of a building because you're not allowed to treat that canister like a projectile.
Yeah, you got
that kind of crap. Like
off of the building and then into them, you know.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like we're so ethical with the way we conduct war that it's not really war. It's like it's a business. It's a physical corporate takeover. I mean, you look into our actual, you know, government structure, right? There's studies that have been done. You know, are we a republic? Are we a democracy? Well, we were never intended to be a democracy. If you look at the founding fathers, what they said. Yeah. You know, calling somebody a Democrat was something that would get you shot in public.
Wasn't it the quote of like Ben Franklin coming out after the, you know, signing or whatever and saying like someone asked him, you know, and then he said like, it's a republic if we can keep it or something like that.
Yeah.
It was something along those lines.
Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you look into there's studies that have been done that our actual government structure is a corporate oligarchy. Mm-hmm. At least, you know, that's what I was told, you know, back in high school 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. As far as I know, that hadn't really changed. Yeah, I mean, because you do the math and you've got the top 5 most valuable companies in our country. You combine them, and that's more than our nation's GDP.
It's a weird system where it started as a republic. We call it a democracy. It's kind of a weird hybridized thing of like government and capitalism like merging together, and like it's a mess actually.
Yeah,
well, part of it is confusion for propaganda. You have these people saying our democracy is going to be destroyed. It's like we don't have a democracy, and so you're way off base even at the beginning of that argument for your protest action that you're doing. That's not what it's supposed to be.
We're not even a democracy.
They hated the democracy.
Yeah,
the founders hated democracy.
Yeah.
The will of the people, the mob. They didn't like it at all. That's why they made it a republic. But
it's a vulnerable system, honestly. And yet we go around espousing democracy and setting it up around the world, or at least trying to and failing at it fucking every 10 years. We're like, oh, they need a democracy over in Iraq or whatever.
Well, I mean, because you go around the world talking about Austrian economics. You know, we tried that before. It didn't really go well last time we did that.
Yeah. They don't like
Wait,
that.
when did we try that?
Well, it was an actual Austrian, you know, pushing his economic model.
I was going to say, if it's Austrian, we don't need to get into that one, but
yeah.
Who is it? Who are you guys talking about?
And Austrian.
And Austrian? That's the person's name?
No, like
an Austrian painter.
A person.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay.
A failed, disgruntled painter.
I see who we're talking about now.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. The war at large looks like the next topic, which we've already kind of touched on a little bit. Which, by the way, I don't know if we had the ceasefire. So Trump did announce a ceasefire.
I heard about that.
And
Everybody
apparently
agreed to it. It was going to last 2 weeks, and it lasted 45 minutes.
Right. And also, we like our ceasefires the way Lindsey Graham likes his dildos, double-sided.
And ribbed.
Only 2?
That's the way he describes it. Double-sided. But so that description of it explicitly left Israel out of it, is what that did.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so that was
it was Lebanon, because Israel's still allowed to bomb Lebanon.
Well, according to us, but then that's what ended the ceasefire, according to them, I think.
Yeah.
Here we have a video of Pete Hegseth here.
President Trump forged this moment. Iran begged for this ceasefire, and we all know it. As the President Truth this morning, a big day for world peace. Iran wants it to happen. They've had enough. Operation Epic Fury was a historic and overwhelming victory on the battlefield. A capital V military victory. By any measure, Epic Fury decimated Iran's military and rendered it combat ineffective for years to come.
I can't not see him as a
See,
leader.
in less
Wow.
than 40 days,
For years to
One
come,
of our
I
combatant
bet they
commands,
won't be,
Central Command,
possibly be
CENTCOM,
developing nuclear
using
weapons
less
in
than
that time.
10% of America's total combat power, dismantled one of the world's largest militaries. The world's
sounds
leading
like
state sponsor of
Bush
terrorism
a little
proved
bit when he talks.
utterly incapable of defending itself, its people, or its territory.
Ugh.
So I wonder what the message being delivered in Iran is to their people.
That's an interesting question.
Well, it's probably something along the lines of, we're down 28-3 at halftime. We have Tom Brady.
Yeah, maybe. It's just war propaganda. All countries always
What's Tom Brady? Oil?
until it's over. They frame it as a victory. They frame it as we're winning, where it's a victory. And the way we jumped out here and we said it's over with a capital V. I was like, wait, does this thing really end or what? And then like, oh, ceasefire ends. It's like, okay, that makes more sense. The ceasefire already ends. But they got out there right after it happened, like, let's go ahead and claim victory. And then they even had the one guy come out and he was like, we consumed 8 million gallons of coffee, 2,500,000 energy drinks, and 8 billion grams of cocaine or whatever it was he said. And it was just, what are we marketing for coffee and energy drinks here? He's trying to be funny about it, but these declarations.
Well, because
of
the
victory,
story was talking about how many steak and crab legs were being served, or steak and lobster tails.
All right, yeah.
So so coming back out and being like, hey, I've audited our consumption. It was kind of just letting them know, like, hey, I'm fully aware of what's getting served on our warships.
Right.
But
said, "But we don't
anybody
have a
that
problem."
served, or anybody that's been related to anybody that served, they know full well, if you're on the phone with somebody that's across the country and they're eating steak and lobster tail and they're not a uniformed officer, you're about to go to war.
Really?
Oh, yes. It's been that
Yeah.
way for 80 something years. Oh, yeah.
So they give them the good stuff right before they go.
Well, just like, hey, you're on death row. What do you want to eat, man? What's your last meal?
yeah.
Yeah, we're going to let you have fun a little bit. We might even give you beer, let you go swim for a few minutes, Yeah.
They let people on death row go take a swim.
Well, I don't know about death row, but I'm, just talking about, military stuff. It's, hey, get loose, have fun.
Yeah.
Life is good, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We agree. All right. Get out there.
Mm-hmm.
Zane, what are your thoughts on the Declaration of Victory with a capital V?
Well, it's just so silly. I mean, for one thing, like, to start just randomly criticizing Iran for not being able to defend itself when one of the war motivations that we keep hearing is that we can't allow them to have ballistic missiles because then they might use the ballistic missiles to, like, protect themselves while they race to a nuke. It's like, okay, so clearly you don't even want them to be able to defend themselves, and then you're still going to try to humiliate them for not being able to. But so
like,
that
these idiots don't know how to count, blow up their schools. Like, doesn't make sense.
But it's like, also, like, it's not even factually true. Like, for one thing, they've destroyed a bunch of our bases in the region so that they've become completely inoperable. We've used up a bunch of our like missiles and used up a lot of our capabilities. There's obviously no way of knowing how many like drones they still have, but from what I've been hearing, they probably still had a lot.
19. Specifically.
So yeah, we blew up a bunch of their stuff. So if we're declaring victory in terms of wow, we've really blown up way more of their stuff than they've blown up of our stuff, then that's true. But it's like I don't care. I don't think that's a really relevant measure of success. I think that the relevant measure of success is like how secure is the United States, and I think that by any measure of that, we are a lot less secure than we were. And Iran really is going to come out of this probably stronger and more well-respected on the world stage than they were. So I don't see how this is a victory for us in any way.
Why do you think that? So why do you think we're less secure and that they will be more respected on the world stage?
So for one thing, we've just made Muslims the world over more angry at us than they were 6 weeks ago. So that's probably not a good thing if you want to not be the victim of a terrorist attack. And then now it's like one of the points of their 10-point plan is that they are going to fully control the Strait of Hormuz, and they're going to start charging ships that pass through the Strait of Hormuz and all this. And it's like, okay, that means Iran now has a lot more power over geopolitics than they did. Certain, like, all of the aims that we had going into this war, coming out of it, we're now in a way worse position than we even were then, let alone achieving any of the objectives that we wanted. It would have been better on the Warhawks' own terms. It would have been better for their war aims had this war never happened at all compared to where we are now with these negotiations.
The war aims were it was difficult to pin down what exactly they were, because they didn't build up the support for it before. They just kind of sprayed.
I was gonna say is that, like, can anyone here even like really name the obvious like why we are doing this and why we're at war? Like, I feel like it happened quick and it was like loosey goosey, and the information that I'm getting is like changing every minute, and I feel like there's not like a real narrative. At least when I'm someone who thinks Pearl Harbor was fucking either planned or allowed to happen or whatever. But at least when World War II, when we got involved in World War II, it felt at least the fucking people of this country, at least at that time, believed a goddamn unified narrative and was behind it. I don't see how this is a strong image of like, we're gonna blow shit up, and if they don't do this, then we're gonna fucking wipe them off the map. And like, I don't know, man. It just, to me, it looks
Well, I mean, there were 5 million different reasons, and as Stephen was saying before, like, our military is really not designed for like fighting and winning wars anymore. It's designed like in order to make the military industrial complex as much money as possible. Yes. Mm-hmm. And there have been a lot of commentators pointing out this war has actually exposed the extent to which the U.S. military is not capable of fighting wars.
Yeah. That's
I don't know. If you listen to the likes of Ian Carroll, we're getting our ass kicked and it's not being discussed. There is a certain element of that, right? Where we don't know of all the damage we're taking. We're not getting the blow by blow, play by play on what we're receiving. We're just told they bombed this, they bombed that. It's not being shown. So the PR aspect of that is being pretty well managed.
What's that one, the aircraft carrier, the like huge aircraft carrier that was like, we're getting like really conflicting reports on like.
Yes. Well, and that was when Ian Carroll was like, we're getting smoked. We're getting our ass kicked. It's not being discussed.
I
haven't seen him talk about it
seriously at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But that brought to light, because I remember the Gulf War, in the 90s, General Schwarzkopf, one of the last like OGs, balls of brass on that guy. I remember it just being a little kid, and I remember watching the evening news, and the reporter was like, General Schwarzkopf, how do you define victory? Or what's your plan for victory here? And they put the microphone in front of his face, and he's walking with his troops. And he's like, I'm going to kill more of them than they do of us.
Oh,
and he just walks off. I was like, what a G. That's That's war right there. This man's ready to fight. And so like all the Obama years, this guy walking around in his mom jeans, doing the shahada better than the actual imams that were local. Like that was a problem, right? His apology tour. You guys remember that crap? And it was like that whole time Obama was in there. I was like, man, I just, I want this narrative. And so like, this is the narrative I wanted 10 to 15 years ago. But now that I'm in it, I'm like, wait a second, this is lopsided. Something's wrong, because something is wrong. Because what you're pointing out, Alden, is like, why are we doing this? Mm-hmm. Like, just tell me, like, if it makes sense at all, I'm with you. Continue taking taxes from me, right? But
what if it doesn't make sense to us and they want to do it anyway? Then
exactly, like that's where we are, man. Like that's exactly
why we don't have a narrative,
like,
because there isn't one we'll all agree on or that anyone will like, or so they're like, let's just
And you can segment the messaging, and people can grab onto the one that satisfies them if they
because I'm trying hard. Let's lean into the art of the deal narrative, the 30,000-foot view here. Like, what is the 4D chess move going on, right? So let's look at the timeline. Like, what all has happened? The disruption. Hey, we want to buy Greenland. Hey, it's not for sale, says NATO, right? Cool. We kidnap Maduro. We bring Maduro back, and then we say, okay, Marco Rubio is running the Venezuelan oil companies now. We have $8 trillion of oil under our command, even though the entire command structure in Venezuela is all Maduro's government. We just took him out of the equation.
And where is he also?
Exactly.
I haven't heard much about him.
But to hear MTG tell it,
signing autographed for 6ix9ine apparently.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, to hear MTG tell it, he's spilling the beans on all the U.S. politicians he's been working with. I don't know, but anyway, so like. Either way, we have that because he knows where the bodies are buried. His entire government structure, he still has the capability to disrupt all of that. So we do have the potential to tap the domestic Venezuelan oil, which also was a Chinese.
How convenient the timing home. Before we go.
If we the one narrative that I'm willing to accept right now,
Venezuela,
exactly, is that this is all to hamstring China. They've been kicking our ass in manufacturing. They've stolen our AI tech. They're beating us in the AI race. And just like
this is the Great Reset, then. This is the narrative.
Yes.
This is what it sounds like from years ago. The whole purpose of the Great Reset that started, they were talking about the World Economic Forum back in 2020, 2021 with the pandemic, was the ultimate, the end game of that was that America gets knocked back a peg and China rises up and the whole global playing field is evened out.
Yeah. Well, and so I know a guy that was with one of the big insurance companies. It wasn't really high up or anything like that. He was just an adjuster. But his whole office here in the Atlanta area in Georgia, they had an event. It was like 2018, 2019, and there was a retired 4-star general that came to talk to this event. And it was just some company retreat, whatever. Oh, we're going to talk about leadership and business management. We got a 4-star general talking to us about mindset and how to conquer your own enemy, which is yourself. All that kind of. But the guy gets up and he does talk about that. He gives a rah motivational speech for about 30 to 45 minutes. But they gave this guy the microphone for an hour and a half. And the last 45 minutes, he talks about how AI is going to take over. AI is going to replace at least half the people in this room in the next 10 years. And whoever merges their military command structure with AI is going to conquer the world. And this is for an insurance agency. And they're all like, what the hell is going on?
Crazy.
Yeah, right. Meanwhile, Vitalik Buterin is over there with Pooty Poot teaching him how to merge AI tech with his military. Vitalik Buterin, the Ethereum guy.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
This is 2018, 2019. I'm just setting the stage of kind of how all this is building up.
Mm-hmm.
Because not long after that, hey, Ukraine kicks off. Now Russia's busy.
And Ukraine has been the testing ground of so much technology.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, have you noticed how few car warranty calls you've been getting since the Ukraine stuff?
I haven't identified that since that timeline, but
that's funny.
Right?
I think Ukraine was also a way to move old tech and sell it. Like because we constantly are making and innovating and getting new stuff. And when we have these old batches of like arms from 20 years ago, we're like, well, we don't use this anymore. And it's like, sorry, my cat's hair is blowing around in my face. We need a way to move it all. And it's like, oh, well, this is the perfect thing. We'll like give it to them or whatever, or we'll sell it to whoever. Like, and so constantly having something going on is good for that. And like you said before,
Ukraine, to that point, Zelensky, was it either 2019 or 2021? It was before the war started. So maybe 2019. He pledged to turn Ukraine into the world's first fully e-government using a e-government, fully digital government,
right,
using
Alden
the DIA
prefers
app that was
e-girls.
funded by USAID. And Samantha Powers used to come out and promote this all the time, how we funded this DIA app, and this is a pilot test program over here, and Zelensky promised to turn the entire government into the first fully digital e-government. And all of your data and information is accessible through this one program and platform that is, facilitated by this USAID-funded DIA app, which they bragged about. They would even say on interviews that the silver lining of this war is how they expedited the spread and the buy-in among the population. They had like over 50% of Ukrainians on this thing now, and that it's been just a marvelous success that they've started to expedite the use to other countries. I think Turkey was one of them. But that to build something back better, to make it fully digital, you have to destroy the entire infrastructure that is analog, which is what has happened in Ukraine.
Like
so Russia's done a favor for that.
Working, remotely or whatever. COVID did the same.
I just think so. I think that there's a big testing ground, getting rid of the old technology, and then we look over here. We have this ghost murmur technology that we're bragging about. You got to test the new tech somewhere, but that's interesting too. Where it's like we can find your heartbeat anywhere now. Is that a good thing? Maybe to save somebody, but what if you want to get off the grid?
Well, that was Julian Assange leaked that, right? I mean, that was
this and the home Wi-Fi routers being able to basically pinpoint everyone in the house and shit like that. And it's upsetting how much we can use to find you wherever the fuck you are now. And there's a weird theory about this, like a conspiracy theory with lead paint, and why they made a whole to-do about like the kids are eating lead paint. I'm like, what? Name one fucking kid that you know that ate paint. Like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. You ate paint?
Dude, apparently I would eat potting soil. I would pick the plants up and just chomp.
You're like on that show with people that eat insulation and drywall and shit. Like,
what show is this?
What was that? The like My Strange Addiction or whatever.
Yeah.
Where people would eat fucking just like couch cushion foam and weird shit. I don't know, man. It was a weird show. But
their family needs to be. Yeah.
Anyway, there's a theory about it that like they did away with the lead paint because the lead in the paint blocked like the ability to scan through walls with different stuff like that. I don't fucking know if that's true, but it's a theory. But
the lead paint
over here being like, I'm like, who eats paint? And Steven's like, I love paint.
lead paint on the walls. Not only does it last forever, you don't have to repaint it every so often. But it is like a Faraday cage.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. I've not verified this, but I was told this. Is Iran saying that they want Bitcoin they want you to pay in Bitcoin to pass through the Strait of Hormuz?
Yes, sir. $1 per barrel, or the equivalent of $1 in Bitcoin per barrel.
What do you guys think of that?
I love it.
Don't ask me about Bitcoin.
This is the one way I can favor losing hegemony. And hey, am I going to be arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder with some radical Muslim clerics for the sake of a free and flowing economy? Yeah, I am. But I'm also going to be next to tons of other people that are also doing nothing wrong, because that's the way that they're going to paint this thing, right? Because we're losing hegemony, so there has to be a double down. There has to be a reframing of, well, look who's using the stuff, right? Because I remember that's one of the things back when the Hildebeest was still running for president, that Monero was what they were using to traffic children. The child traffickers use Monero, and that story came out. Monero went from $700 a token down to $3.
Wow.
I mean, just cut the value in half because hey, I don't shop at Wayfair. I'm not buying cabinets.
Wayfair was a Wayfair that just opened, by the way. like where Walmart used to be on Howell Mill, which is crazy. I didn't know they had physical. And my friend
I was
Rose
just
was
gonna
like,
say,
we need to go
I-
rescue the children that are inside.
An actual
Right.
store for Wayfair? I've never even heard of such a thing. That's like the Amazon
yeah.
store.
Oh, they're popping up all over Atlanta. Yeah.
What?
And by
for
the way,
real?
yeah,
That's
there's the first
weird.
one. I just saw the first one ever. It used to be where Walmart was down on Howell Mill, 85 and Howell Mill, and I was a bit taken aback by it. And,
That's weird. I thought it was
That's
just
where
a
I'm
site
going
to
right after
order.
this. We're going to rescue those kids. Like, why is this desk of drawers way too expensive? What's
Yeah,
inside
yeah,
of
yeah.
it?
Yeah. But that's how they're going to say, like, do you want to use the same currency as terrorists, drug dealers, and prostitutes? Yeah.
Well, we already
Money's
do.
money.
It's called the U.S. dollar.
Amen. Amen. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, no, right. So that's a way to devalue it. Absolutely.
For the sake of freedom, it's the same argument of like, how many kids have to die before you give up your guns? I'm like, all of them.
Free Ross. He had the Silk Road. Wasn't that? I mean, that's kind of the similar idea. It was like you don't want to use the dark web. You don't want to do. Wasn't there a crypto aspect to that? Am I mistaken? Am I misremembering that?
It's
No,
part of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's a drug deal or it's a criminal type
Yep.
of currency is a way to make people want to stay away from
Meanwhile,
it.
while
it
that
all
was going
is.
on, Facebook is selling slaves in Africa. That
Facebook
same
is.
exact time frame. Yes.
But
Yeah.
see how that's an interesting point that it's not on this case, it's not about the platform getting like criminalized or the person who created the platform. It's about, oh well, someone just used it for that or whatever. But in this
That's right.
case, it's
Yeah,
about
it's a
the
little
platform
different,
and the person
yeah.
who made it.
There's just
Atlanta,
so many
by the way-
items for
okay.
sale on Facebook Marketplace. There's no way we could catch if a slave or two slips in there.
A slave or two.
Yeah, Facebook Marketplace is a new Craigslist, so be careful, especially if your ladies out there meeting up with somebody on Facebook Marketplace to buy or sell anything.
I actually just got scammed, or would have been scammed had I fallen for it trying to use Facebook Marketplace.
My
Really, what
account was
happened?
blocked on Facebook Marketplace for years because someone scammed me and tried to fucking like sell
It's
me
all-
some
it all
weird
looks like a
shit.
scam to me.
And
Well,
so
that's
then
why
I was.
I got blocked.
Most quick trip gas stations, aside from having the best breakfast pizza around, most quick trip gas stations are safe place meeting spaces for marketplace exchanges. They have like, because it'll be on a certain side of the building, they'll have that sign, and there's cameras pointed right at those parking spots.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zane, tell us about your story almost being scammed.
Anyway, public service announcement. So I was trying to sell something on Facebook Marketplace, and they say like, "Oh, I just Venmo'd you," but I was just on with like the Venmo customer service, and they said that you need to check your email because the payment's on hold. And so I checked my email, there wasn't anything in there. I checked the Venmo account, there wasn't anything in there. But then I checked my spam folder, and there was this email supposedly from Venmo saying about how like it was too much money. I was over the personal Venmo limit, so I needed to create a business Venmo account.
What the hell are you
And
selling?
it would have had me like request more money from them. And I assumed that it was like a fake payment scam
Yeah,
where
It's
they
like a
had clearly
Nigerian
generated
prince
this
scam.
email to try to convince me that they had either already paid or I needed to like pay them in order to be
Yeah,
paid.
that's a
or something.
Nigerian prince scam that's digitalized. That's exactly what that is. That they want you to send them money back, and then it gets that's smart
Well,
on you
like
not recognizing that.
What gave it away, or part of what gave it away, besides the fact that they were just being extremely pushy and rude, was that they gave me the phone number to call. So they didn't want me to call the actual Venmo.
Don't call Venmo. Yeah.
They wanted me to
Don't
call
call
their
corporate.
number, because
It
I'm sure
sucks
they
that
would.
everything's a scam. It really does. Everything is a scam. It's just so you have to look at the world that way. It sucks, but if you don't, you're going to get bamboozled by something that
Our government's
you know,
a scam. Like,
yeah. So like everything. So we're about to go to. We're going to watch. Yeah, Zach. We'll watch that Lego thing and then do trivia. One quick comment though before Atlanta is going to be hosting the World Cup, and there's going to be Uzbekistan. I know is predominantly Muslim, is going to be here. There's like the Congo is going to be. I don't know how many Muslim countries, but we're going to be giving away free drawings of the Prophet Muhammad around the city. So if anybody wants to come down and get a free one during the World Cup, you can do that. So this is the
Gang. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Every time he talks tough, it's Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Big threats on Monday, then they chickens out Tuesday. Power plant day, bridge day, all that tough talk. Now he's folding again. What a joke. He screams regime change, drops bombs like he's bold. Then runs to the mic and says maybe we fold. One day he's winning, next day he's scared. Every Tuesday he's backpedaling hard. You threatened the straight, so we'd live in hell. Now you're begging for ceasefire, we can tell. 17 bases hit your military in shame. But you still out here tweeting like it's a game. Taco Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Big threats on Monday, then he chickens out Tuesday. Power plant day, bridge day, all that tough talk. Now he's folding again, what a joke. Sacred defense, we still standing strong. Taco Tuesday again, yeah.
They're so catchy.
I have to say, if I was Iranian, I'm not sure I would put out a video like that, essentially taunting him and criticizing him for not bombing my country out of existence. So, pretty funny, but maybe not very wise.
Is this the new QAnon? Like, is it? You know, because they kind of went away. Like, is this the same people?
These are apparently videos that are coming from official Iranian propaganda, bureaus or whatever.
They have help. They have help. I mean, like that's they've released a handful of those, and yeah, this hits way too hard for American culture. Like they have help.
Well, that's what they're trying to hit American culture. So that's domestic. That's foreign for them. It's foreign propaganda trying to reach the domestic, trying to exploit the opposition to the war.
Yeah,
and so connect there. And what's Trump carrying here? A white flag? What is this?
Is this AI? Oh, there we go.
Okay, he's trying to see bags for. Okay, I mean it looks real.
Man.
I mean the white flag. Yeah.
Look at the shoes though, and the way he walks down the stairs, and the shoes are like pointed down the whole time. It looks weird.
Oh, nice. No, that's good eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's wearing like socks and he's kind of prissy.
Graphic designer in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, good eye on that. It's why. So that's one of the more interesting aspects of this is the different propagandas coming out of different countries. There was the claymation. This wasn't an official Chinese government source, but it apparently came from China, and it was just this weird video where Trump was an eagle, and the Ayatollah was a big cat. He was a Meowatola.
Oh man.
And Trump just shoots him in the heart. Yeah. And then the Meowatola army comes and they peg the Japanese prime minister in the face with a rock. They just have rocks that they throw.
My favorite one so far is it starts out with Trump and Netanyahu bowing before a throne, and then it pans and like they pleads the pleasure. Yes, your will is being done, and then it pans over, and it's Baal or Baal, whatever the
Baal,
demon.
Yeah.
That's
we
what
didn't even get into that.
I haven't even seen that, but that's what I thought you were going to say there. Yeah.
Yeah, I say Baal because I grew up playing Diablo.
So, real quick, then we'll do trivia. I'll start with you, Zane. Do you think there's an Israeli influence in our actions in Iran?
I mean, this has been admitted by everyone, right? Like, how is it? I don't see how this is even a question.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. I agree so much with Zane on this one. It's not even a question to me. The answer is yes to all.
Much,
like,
I guess is that.
Does Israel influence how we? Yes. Like,
well,
I do. Will say, well, we're pulling their strings, and that's the other argument is that it's us, and it's
no.
Well, so I mean, what if? And this is a crazy what if here. What if our global hegemony is tied to Israel's Middle East hegemony? Which is obviously being threatened because you got Saudi Arabia coming online, you got Qatar, Oman, all these Gulf states using their oil money they're using that as leverage to propel themselves into this digital age because they're quantum computing, AI, all like the next gen stuff is, I mean, again, they're pioneering. I mean, like let's the concept of zero came from them. Geometry, astronomy, that it came from the Arab world.
I hate to break it to you, but the concept of zero actually comes from India.
I was gonna ask Zane this because I said this like months ago, and Zane said something else about it. So just as a never mind, just a callback to a prior episode. But
A more appropriate term for Arabic numerals would actually be Indo-Arabic numerals because they went from India to Arabia. And then I think, oh shoot, who was it? It was
You need to get on the phone with Dennis Prager.
Fibonacci was like a 13th or 14th century Italian mathematician after whom the Fibonacci sequence is named. But he discovered these numerals when he was traveling around close to somewhere around Arabia, I guess. But that's why
first time I heard a Fibonacci reference in a show that I've been on.
Well, you never know what you're going to get when you come on Liberty Libations. But sometimes you'll get a math lecture like this time. But that's why in the West they're known as Arabic numerals, even though they're not technically Arabic in origin.
Listen to the Tool song Lateralis, which is based on the Fibonacci sequence, like syllabically and mathematically and timings, and it's crazy.
So this is perfect because you guys just demonstrated why I'm about to get dominated in trivia.
I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I've not been doing too well in trivia these days, so.
I feel like that song was made specifically for me.
And it's to give you hope.
I'm
there we
not
go.
Gonna win.
Made by the IRGC.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, everyone. It's so good to be back. I haven't written a trivia in over a month. So
who are you anymore?
I don't know.
Not a trivia
who am I? Welcome to another week of Libations Trivia. As usual, we have trivia in 3 rounds. Round 1 is 8 questions, 1 point each. Round 2 is 6 questions, 2 points each. Round 3 is 4 questions, 3 points each. Our contestants here will write their answer down on a piece of paper. If you are in the audience, please leave a comment in your with your answer, and the first audience answer that is not obviously a joke will be accepted.
What if I write it down not on paper?
What medium would you be using instead?
Whiteboard.
Yes. Very nice.
Yeah.
That's approved.
Not a board of color, though. It's got to be.
Yeah, I was going to say, why not a blackboard, Alden?
I'm sorry.
Not a blackboard.
Yeah.
Well, it's not February, guys. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's a BIPOC board.
An indigenous board. I don't think there's such thing as a red board.
Yeah, most of them are dead.
That'd be weird. Yeah.
All right. Our categories for tonight. Round 1 is the return of the very popular category Libation Nation. Round 2 is coffee, and round 3 is steakhouses.
I like all those things.
I don't know why I laughed at that. But just, yes.
All right, round 1. As was last time, I will give you the name of a libation, and you will tell me what country it is most closely associated with.
Plan on scoring 0 in this round.
Question 1, sake. Brad.
Japan.
Steven.
Japan.
Alden.
Japan.
Audience also has it. Nice and easy one to start off with. Japan.
This is like Celebrity Jeopardy with that question.
Usually I get complaints that my trivia is too hard, so every now and then I like to throw in an easy one.
A softball. Yeah.
What are the things that your socks go on? Feet. I got this one.
That's where you put your socks? That's weird.
Well, you know, I don't want to say the other place.
I thought it was a little dick warmer for the winter, you know?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was thinking.
You know, they actually have those. It's called a cod piece.
Yeah.
That is not a thing.
Did you say a cod
Yes,
piece?
it is. Look it up.
A cod
Actually,
cod
maybe-
piece. Sorry,
I'm afraid
I was
to
like,
Google
gonna agree
that.
with Zane for a second.
All right, question 2, Lagavulin.
Lagavulin.
I'm gonna look up codpiece, but if I better not regret this.
Lagavulin.
Oh, I just saw that this is in armor. Okay, so I actually do know about that, but I didn't know what it's called.
All right, Brad.
Venezuela.
Steven.
Yeah. Philippines.
Scotland.
Alden. Audience says Scotland. If Jake were here, he definitely would know it
Yeah,
because
he'd
it
say
is
Scotland.
Scotland.
Yeah,
It's a Scotch.
I was drinking a scotch, not Lagavulin, but I was drinking a scotch earlier tonight.
Alabama.
Question 3, Tito's vodka.
Oh, yes.
Tito's vodka. The fuck is Tito?
You don't know Tito's? It's good shit.
Tito's.
It's a little overpriced, but it's good.
Alden.
America. I think Texas specifically.
Steven.
Good old Tejas. Yep.
Well, I
Brad?
said Russia because, yeah, Russia.
That I think it was a trick. If you didn't know what it was, that's what everyone would say.
Right, I
would be
figured it
like,
wasn't Russia, so I said Russia.
Yeah.
The first audience answer is Mexico, but it is the United States.
You know what's funny is that does have a name like a Mexican
Like a
city or
Mexico,
something like
yeah.
Question 4, Foster's Lager.
This is hilarious, actually. Because it's
I'm not
said
laughing.
in their commercials. It's like they
Yep.
state it, you know? You know what I'm talking about.
Foster's.
Well, yeah, we might have just given it away then, right? Yeah.
What are you
Brad?
guys talking about? Australia.
Steven.
Australia.
Alden.
Austria. No, I'm kidding. Australia.
Audience also has it. It is Australia.
Australian for beer. Honestly, I've heard
I don't even
people
think they
that
drink it
are
over there.
Australian say that, yeah, that it's like not even really a thing there and it sucks. Like, so
Just like Outback Steakhouse isn't their main restaurant.
yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
Question 5, Kolsch.
Koosh.
Oh, yeah. A nice fruity lager. Good in the summertime.
It's actually an ale. It's a lagered ale, technically. Which
Yes.
is interesting. It's like a hybrid.
Well, it's lager
Alden.
yeast.
It's ale yeast. No, I'm saying it goes through the lagering process, so it's cold fermented or whatever, but it is an ale yeast actually, technically.
I gotta look into that.
Alden.
Yep, it's a lagered ale, which is like there's very few of those. It's German.
Yeah.
I used to work in beer, like if this was back then.
Yeah. I'm saying Germany, more specifically Cologne.
Germany.
Cone, Koln.
Show off. Audience has it too. It is Germany.
Yeah.
Specifically, Steven's right. It is Cologne.
Yep. Gaffel is the brewery there. It's one of the oldest operating breweries in Germany.
The spelling's the only reason I knew it.
Yeah.
With the umlaut, like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Question 6, Frangelico.
You ever mixed Frangelico and lemon juice?
I have not.
Tastes like chocolate cake. It's really weird.
That's unexpected. But
Yeah,
I'll have to
Alden,
try
do you
it.
have a drinking problem?
I was a bartender, of course. Yeah.
He doesn't have a problem with it at all. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So no, yeah. I only have 3 drinks on my desk right now as we speak. It's fine. I have a problem. I don't have a 4th. Yeah.
Brad,
Italy.
Steven,
Oh, crap. I said France. Or-
Alden.
There we go, France.
Italy.
Audience also says Italy. That's correct.
Italia.
Question 7, Absolute vodka.
Absolute vodka.
Audience says the toilet.
I was gonna say the DZ house in Milledgeville.
It's the nation of latrina. Yeah,
Right.
that's hilarious.
Not Denny's
Yeah.
house, because
I
that's a
don't-
different vodka.
I'm gonna take a guess on this one because I don't drink this anymore, not since college. But
Brad,
I'm just gonna say Russia because I'm gonna say that for every vodka question.
Steven,
I'm also saying Russia.
I went
Alden.
a little different just to try something. I'm going Poland.
audience says Austria.
Hmm.
No one gets it because it is Sweden.
Ah,
Swedes.
yep.
The home of
The
Jacob
original
Faggot.
version of this question asked about Svedka, which probably would have been a little bit easier. But as of a couple of years ago, it actually doesn't even market itself as being Swedish or imported from Sweden on the bottle. Like the bottles of Svedka used to have like a big imported from Sweden label and a Swedish flag on them.
Is it
They
still
don't
made
do that
there, though?
anymore. And because it specifically what they would do is they would essentially manufacture like Swedish Everclear in Sweden, ship it over to the United States, and then actually make and bottle the vodka in the United States.
Did you
And
see?
they were
Sorry to cut you off. Just sound correct saying that Austria was actually applying to the last question. So whatever the
Okay,
next
I think-
answer was for this one.
the next answer would have been Sweden then. So audience does get the point.
All right.
So was some controversy as to whether Svedka is actually
Even
Truly
considered now
Swedish.
Swedish. Yeah. Interesting.
Wait, nobody wants to own it.
Well, they're
apparently
neutral,
they don't
right?
even sell Svedka in Sweden, or like it's not a thing there.
Wow.
Yeah, we drink it up by the gallons in college around here.
Right.
All right, question 8. The Bacardi Distillery, the world's largest rum distillery and commonly known as the Cathedral of Rum, is located on what Caribbean island? Brad,
Barbados.
Steven,
I'm saying Jamaica.
Alden.
Jamaica.
Audience says Martinique. This would be Puerto Rico.
What? Damn.
Fuck.
I didn't know that.
I hate when Puerto Ricans are like, we're American.
I bet you were a big fan of the Super Bowl halftime show then.
I love that. I loved looking at the audience having no idea what was being sung. They didn't
there you
have the translation on the.
Well, so what do you think about Jake Paul then? Is he still American?
Is he from Puerto Rico?
He lives there now.
But
Jake
he's not
Paul.
really an expat because he's still. How does that
Right.
work, right? If you move to Puerto Rico, is it not
You
a
don't.
7 year?
You don't need a passport.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
you just-
fun
you
fact
just-
Puerto Rico is one of the only places in the entire universe where a U.S.
The
citizen
universe.
cannot vote for president. Because even astronauts that reside on the ISS are able to cast an absentee ballot or like vote from space.
Right.
But if you live in Puerto Rico, you cannot vote for the president.
Really?
Hmm.
Well, because they don't want to pay taxes.
Good.
Mm. Well, I don't either. So.
Do they get out of taxes over there?
Yes, they do.
I
They do
would-
not pay U.S.
okay.
federal taxes. So that's why guys like Peter Schiff have moved over there.
How do you guys feel about what if you were like, I surrender my ability to vote and I don't have to pay taxes?
Yeah,
Deal.
I don't vote anyway.
Yeah, I exactly. I was gonna say this barely affects me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I haven't voted in years. Not in the presidential.
All right. At the end of round 1, we've got Brad and Steven.
I just
tied with
coughed as the
4,
word coffee came up. Sorry. Go ahead.
Alden and the audience tied with 6. So some relatively high scores so far today.
Is it?
I mean, perfect would be 8. So more than the overall success rate is over 50%.
Yeah, you make it about alcohol, and we do pretty well. You know.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how well you all know coffee.
I don't know. It's a stimulant. We'll see.
Oh shit.
Question 1. Correctly spell the name of this type of coffee pot.
Oh, that's mean. This is now about spelling.
Well, how well do you know your coffee pot?
I don't even know.
Brad?
Fuckzane.
Yeah.
No. Steven?
Percolator.
Alden?
I didn't even know what the thing was called, so I don't know what I'm spelling. I was going to
Looks
say
like a
carafe.
made-
I have no idea. So
Okay, well,
It looks like it's got a strong black arm on the.
this question did not exactly go the way I intended because I thought most people knew that this is a mocha pot. The key is that it's mocha spelled M-O-K-A, not M-O-C-H-A.
So you thought we'd know, but just not know how to spell it.
Yes.
you thought we would be cultured in the way of stimulants, and we are not.
The percolator
supposed to
has a
have
clear
milk and
glass bubble
coffee
at
in
the
it.
top. Yeah.
I guess.
Percolator sounds like something I would smoke weed out of.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like my coffee, like I like my women mocha.
Question 2. The Italian words for restricted and long, respectively, are the terms for variations on an espresso that use less and more water than a normal espresso. Provide either of these terms.
Less and more
I
water.
need a second to read that one again.
Okay, so you have a normal espresso, which is some amount of water through the puck of coffee grounds.
There's
The
a name for
Italian word for restricted is a version of an espresso where you use less water than normal, and the Italian word for long is a version of an espresso where you use more water than usual. Audience has it, by the way, so just that piece of motivation.
There's
Brad.
a chance of getting the Mandingo.
Steven?
Ristretto.
Alden?
restricted.
Right? Ristretto, yeah.
So
Longest.
it is ristretto for the short and the lungo for the long.
Nice.
Huh. Wow. There you go.
So Steven and the audience supposed to have that.
Steven, did you know that or guess that?
I guessed it, dude.
No, bro. That's insane. Oh
Just
my
me
god.
acting Italian. Ristretto.
Ristretto.
You
Yeah.
don't belong here.
I should have tried just one shade harder to guess, you know? Damn. And Longo? Jesus.
Lungo looks like.
Question 3. Name both the Indonesian island that produces the most coffee and the island where Indonesian coffee was first grown. These islands are Indonesia's largest and most populous islands, respectively.
Also, where they behead Christians.
Oh, interesting.
Afghanistan's an island?
Sure, this is not an Indonesian island, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Brad?
Nigeria.
Steven?
Sri Lanka.
Alden?
I said Guinea or New Guinea? Is there an old Guinea?
There's a middle-aged.
I think the original Guinea is in the Netherlands, I want to say.
Okay.
Audience gets 1 point out of the 2 because they say Sumatra. The other island is, of course, Java.
I should have known that
Java.
if it was a name that I don't associate with coffee, that it would be fucking wrong. But I was like, I'm gonna throw out Guinea.
It's
'cause-
Sumatra. So look, I was thinking about the Starbucks, what they have for their blends, and it has a tiger on the bag, and I got it wrong. But it does. The Sumatra blend does have the tiger on the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The audience says that they thought that it was C++, so
Yeah, there we
Common
go.
Programmer L.
Is it the Maxwell House Island?
I think so.
Yeah. But Sumatra, they do behead Christians over there, not Sri Lanka, by the way.
Question 4. According to legend, coffee beans were discovered by a goat herd named Hardee in the 9th century. In what modern-day African country?
Right.
I'm down to 2, and I picked one, but I'll be upset if it's the other one.
The audience says England.
What the fuck?
I mean, that is a modern day African country.
Yeah.
That fucking there was nothing that could have prepared me for that answer.
Brad?
Nigeria.
Good callback.
Yeah.
Steven?
Ethiopia.
Alden?
Names, yeah, Ethiopia.
Audience also says Ethiopia, which is correct.
Okay. Kenya was my other option. but
Is
I
that
feel
why
like
they're
it's
so good
more
at
modern.
marathons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Question 5. What coffee brand, introduced by Joel Owsley Cheek in 1892, was named in honor of the Nashville hotel that was its first major customer?
It's a deep cut.
You don't know this, bro?
My boy Joe Ozzy Cheek.
My boy Joel Owsley Cheek.
Oh, what a cheeky fellow he was.
Historical figure. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Guy had some
His
dimples.
friends all called him Butt Cheek, you know.
He's
But if you weren't close and you called him that, he would shoot you in the street like a dog, you know.
There you go. Shout his name at the family reunion and you'll turn the other cheek.
All right,
Just
you
trying
got
to
it.
give him his 15 minutes of fame here.
Yeah, apparently. You guys ready? Or
Brad?
I'm gonna go with the only coffee brand I can think of, and that's Maxwell House.
It's the one
Steven?
I said earlier.
Community?
Alden?
I didn't even know that was a coffee. I also went Maxwell House because Hotel House, you know, I don't know.
That would be the correct line of thinking. It is
Hey.
Maxwell House.
Oh.
Audience also has it.
Community coffee's from
Put
Louisiana.
those cheeks together. Give us a round of applause.
Yeah.
Question
Their
6.
coffee tastes like cheeks, you know what I mean?
There are several potential origins of the nickname Cup of Joe for coffee. One possibility is that it refers to Josephus Daniels, Secretary of the Navy under what president? He banned alcohol on naval vessels, making coffee the strongest drink available.
Josephus? What fucking kind of name is that? I figured that would be someone from like 1,000 years ago, not like under any president.
So the question is, what is the actual origin?
The question is, why is coffee?
What president? When Cup of Joe came about, what president was in office?
Yeah. It's not why is coffee. Although I'd like it to be. The existential coffee question. I'm doing far worse in the coffee versus alcohol category.
Not too bad, though.
I'm doing a flyer here on this one. Just shot in the dark
Brad.
out there. Shot of espresso. in the
Woodrow
dark.
Wilson.
Steven?
No way. I also said Woodrow Wilson.
Oh shit!
Alden?
I said Eisenhower.
Audience says Joe Biden.
That would be pretty funny actually if it was like real modern.
But the answer is enemy of the podcast, Woodrow Wilson.
Yes!
What the fuck? How did
Yeah.
you guys get that? God
Well,
damn it.
because he banned alcohol. So it was
Oh, that
probably
makes
Depression
sense.
era.
I should have
BS.
just went with that.
Yeah.
I should have just.
I didn't
went
know he
with
was an
the-
enemy of the podcast.
Yes, he
Well,
is.
of course. I mean,
Yeah.
He's-
Aside from
he
Obama,
he won on keeping us out of war, only to get us into war 6 months later. Not
Was
unlike
this-
our
who just
current
remind us
president.
of? Yeah.
was this? I mean, are we talking about Prohibition era?
So this was right at the outbreak of World War One in 1914.
So not official Prohibition. That was in the 20s or whatever.
Prohibition started, I believe, in 1919.
Okay. Because that was some bullshit, but
Yeah.
that
Well,
started a war of its own, basically.
And it all started with this cup of Joe shit.
There is this whole Josephus Daniels thing is not the most widely accepted theory of how Cup of Joe came about, because the term Cup of Joe did not become a thing until the 1930s, and because this happened in 1914, they think that it's probably not this. The most likely explanation is probably just that the coffee is a common drink, and so it refers to like the average Joe
the
drinking
average
it.
Joe.
It's probably an
Yeah.
Edward Bernays propaganda campaign from some
There you go.
corporation to pump up
Just like-
coffee.
My grandma convinced me when I was a kid that the guy that invented the toilet was named John Crapper Commode.
So
Wasn't
John
Crapper-
Crapper, this
Yeah.
was
I love telling
this
people
came
stuff
up
like
in
that.
trivia last year, where
Yeah.
John Crapper actually was a major figure in the invention of the toilet.
That's what I was gonna
No
say.
way.
I'll be like,
actually a
hey,
name?
you see that tripod over there? Do you know who invented tripod? It was H.G. Tripod from 1917.
It was just a guy with a huge dick that made it.
He had a huge penis.
Yeah.
So there are
Anyway.
actually things where that's the case. So like German chocolate cake was named after an American baker named German.
German chocolate cake.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. That was a trivia question from like 3 months ago. Yeah.
Huh. I wasn't ready for that
C.W.
one.
Burger is the origin of the hamburger here in the United States back in 1912.
But not okay. That's so German chocolate cake in the sense that we call it, of like the chocolate and coconut cake or whatever.
Pistol cock ring made the first cock ring back in 1872.
The Prince Albert.
Yeah.
Wasn't that actually a thing? The Prince Albert named after, I don't know
Yes.
why Prince Albert. Did he have this piercing or?
I mean,
Anyway,
these are
we're getting
different
on
cock rings we're talking about.
We're getting
here.
on a yeah, that's fair. Yeah, we're getting
Yeah,
on
there
a
we
dick
go.
tangent.
One's
All
at the
right,
base,
let's
one's
reel
at
it
the
back
tip.
in.
We're going on a
Yeah.
dick tangent again, guys.
At the end of round 2, we've got Brad with 8, Steven and Alden tied with 10, audience with 13. So still very much anybody's game here.
We're close.
Yeah.
As we move into round 3, steakhouses.
I know at least 4 of these, so we're good.
Applebee's.
Question 1. What New York City steakhouse, founded in 1837, claims to be the first fine dining establishment in the United States? Along with its signature steak, it is also known for originating other dishes such as Eggs Benedict, Baked Alaska, and Lobster Newburg.
Thank goodness for that extra information. That really clears it up.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
What does New York know about Alaska?
Or steak.
That got me. Oh man, shit, I don't know.
Well, let's start with you then. Alden?
Oh, perfect. I only have CH written, but Ruth's Chris, which is just I put because it's the stupidest fucking restaurant name ever. Try to
That's what I
say
was
that.
trying to think of,
Ruth's
actually. I didn't even think of that.
Chris.
Nigerianos.
Yeah.
Stop trying to scam me, you guys.
I said
Brad?
New York thick cuts.
Yeah.
Audience
How'd
says
you spell
4
thick?
Seasons.
4 Seasons. Is that it?
This would be Delmonico's.
Oh,
Oh, that was on the tip of my tongue.
It was on the tip of
Yeah.
my dick. Oh man.
Delmonico's.
It was on the tri-tip of my tongue. I fucking should have done
Bomb
that.
it. Bomb Delmonico's. It's an
That's,
excellent
Question
that's
two.
actually really annoying.
A USDA prime porterhouse, dry-aged on-site, is the signature dish of what Brooklyn steakhouse founded in 1887 and named for its original owner?
Another New York steakhouse. I thought this was gonna be like Longhorn or some shit, you know.
Yeah, right.
Have some class, man.
Yeah, apparently I do not.
I've never been to New York City. I make my own steak. I can't afford this shit.
Signature dish.
Audience says the EBT Center. All right, Brad.
Orson Porter steak.
Steven.
Matt Murdock.
Alden.
Cookout.
The new Daredevil sucks.
That caught me so off guard. Oh my god.
Like a Matt Murdock reference in front of me.
That's right.
The new Daredevil sucks.
This would be Peter Luger.
I actually,
Oh, God.
this is
That's
another
my
name
bad
that I
guy.
am frustrated with that I actually do know it.
You
but
knew that one.
yeah.
Yeah, I knew that one too, dude.
I know Luger's Peter. I mean Peter Luger.
Yeah, Luger's Peter.
Peter's
for
Loogie.
Sure.
Peter's Loogie, Luger's Peter. You know, pick your Peter poison. You know.
A whole peck
Peter
of
Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. I almost got it. Dang it.
What's crazy is Cindy Brady is a huge, like, radical Trump supporter.
Oh.
Makes me think of Cindy
What?
Brady having it
Oh.
with the lisp from the Brady Bunch.
Oh.
Huge Trump supporter, Cindy Brady.
Really?
Mm.
Oh yeah, yeah, she's crazy. She's like radical Trump supporter.
Oh shit.
All
Off the
right.
deep
Question 3. Bloomin'
I love
Brands
Cindy.
is appropriately the parent company of what steakhouse founded in Tampa in 1988. In case you are looking for something more
Okay.
elevated, Bloomin' Brands also owns Fleming's Prime Steakhouse.
I know Steven knows this. Maybe everyone knows this. I don't know. We went from like really hard to like, nah.
Yeah, I mean, this is give me the fucking blooming onion, dude.
All right.
Right.
Brad,
Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah.
Outback.
Steven.
Outback.
Audience has it too. It is the one and only Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah. The OG.
The blooming onion's
The
disgusting,
bloomin' onion-
but it's so good.
I was gonna
Right.
say it's the best
I
thing on their
hate
menu.
myself.
I
I will murder one of those in about
Just
12
dump
minutes.
It in
Oh,
there, whatever
dude,
the
I
fuck
don't-
that sauce is.
I don't even
it's
need
like-
a
like
steak
dick,
when I
dude.
go there. That's just
And
what
I
I
hate
order. That's
myself
it.
after that, but it's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And then you're like, let me get a steak and a Caesar also. Better keep it healthy with a Caesar.
Yeah.
All right.
I just
Question
need a
4.
bloomin' onion and a condom. You know,
Okay.
that's all I need for a good night.
Yeah.
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 What was the first name of the woman who, in 1965, purchased the Chris Steakhouse in New Orleans,
Oh, well,
which had
all
been
right.
founded by Chris Matulich in 1927?
See, now I might know this one, but I might have given it away if anyone else didn't fucking know
No,
it.
honestly,
The first
Alden,
name
I
of the
went in a
woman.
late night rabbit hole on this one like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
I've got the whole history.
Of
Oh, yeah.
You went
steakhouses?
on a steakhouse late night rabbit hole.
I did of this one specifically, how it was
Oh.
named and why it's named this, because I had to know.
Huh. Well,
Is
it's
it
the
Beatrice?
stupidest name in steakhouse history because it's impossible to say, but whatever.
Yep.
All right. Brad,
Ruth.
Steven,
Ruth.
Alden.
Baby. Ruth.
Ruth, baby.
It is a name that's impossible for me to pronounce because of my list, but it is Ruth's
I feel you,
Chris
bro.
Steakhouse.
It's so stupid. I can't believe
Yo, a
dude,
woman,
you held it
a
together
woman's
So
name
it
was
was-
the most
it
popular
was-
steakhouses.
It was part of
Has
the
a woman's
deal.
name.
if she ever opened satellite locations after purchasing the steakhouse, she could not use the name of the original location. And so this is the thumb in the eye. She goes, fine, this is going to be Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Ruth's.
What was
Chris.
the original location?
You don't want me to name it Chris? I'm going to name it the stupidest thing ever. Like, perfect.
Yeah.
Despite
It's like dumb slut
the original
steakhouse what it
is
should've
the
been called.
Chris Steakhouse.
it's the cut your nose to spite the
So
face.
all the others that she opened afterward are Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
This bitch's steakhouse.
That's right.
Damn it, guys. I'm out of beer.
You better call Uber Eats to deliver that package.
You mean Haley?
Or Haley. Call Haley.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Call
go.
Haley.
All right. At the end of trivia, we've got Brad with 14, Stephen and Alden both with 16.
We're still
Very close
tied.
tonight. Audience wins with 19.
Congratulations to the audience.
No. Waiter.
What does the audience win? They win pride.
They win our disrespect, you know.
They're not a loser anymore. That's
I refuse to continue without beer, so I will be right back.
All right. You go get your beer. He actually took the camera screen off too, so we can't look at all of his stuff while he's gone. But political leanings. There's a video that let's check out I thought this was pretty interesting. I don't know where this chick comes from, but she was showing a graph of where the political leanings of modern politicians are, and they might surprise you.
Doing a wellness check on the teenagers in high school right now, because what is this? Someone sent their AP government textbook to Carol Markowitz, their cousin, to show them the political ideology grid that they are currently teaching in American high schools. Guys, I have so many questions. Apparently the only person in American politics who is economic right and more libertarian is Ron Paul, who is like barely libertarian. Hillary Clinton and George W. Bush are the same dot because they have the same exact political ideology. What?
Yes.
And they both are more authoritarian than Fidel Castro. Apparently, Obama is a right-wing authoritarian in 2008. And he becomes more right-wing economically and more authoritarian by 2012, closely mirroring the political ideology of Maggie Thatcher. And of course, Ted Cruz, who is far more authoritarian, by the way, than Fidel Castro. And pretty much on the exact same line. It looks like he's more authoritarian than Joseph Stalin over there. Donald Trump is on par, of course, with Hitler. Bernie Sanders is barely economic left. Nelson Mandela is a libertarian. What? I don't even know what to do with this. The textbook in question, your college level American government course, your AP course offered to high schoolers in America today. And justice for George W. Bush having to share a dot with Hillary Clinton. Doing a wellness check on the teenagers.
Justice for George W.
W.
Yeah,
I mentioned W earlier.
So that's interesting. What state, I wonder, did she say what state she was in?
some state of mind, apparently.
Because the same curriculum isn't across the country, so I am interested in what state that is. But also, I don't disagree with some of it. I don't disagree that Bush equals Clinton. I don't disagree that a lot of them are the same. The Trump is Hitler is a little stereotypical.
Well, she's saying he was closer. He was closer to Hitler than Obama.
He was closer to Hitler than Obama. But Obama being a right winger in many ways, foreign policy, all these guys are the same.
Yeah,
they're just branded differently, but they all have the same actions. That you can have different ways of doing it that gives people different domestic squabbles. But Walter Lippmann wrote like 100 years ago. He's a very depressing book, so I wouldn't recommend reading him if you are easily black-pilled. But very much that international policy is always the same, and domestic policy is primarily designed to keep the public squabbling over those issues so that they let the adults in the room do the same shit overseas. And that's kind of what this makes me feel like with the way this was described. What do you think, Stephen?
So 96, Bill Clinton, you put him on the spectrum. He's going to be to the right of Trump. he's going to be to the right of George Bush. I mean, it's amazing to look at something like, if you really look at, so how they run is one thing and the policies they enact is another thing.
Yeah.
So, with 96 Bill Clinton, you had a Newt Gingrich run house up his ass, had him painted in a corner. You had the .com bubble. You had all these economic pressures. So, yeah, I mean, like putting dots on the graph is one thing. But if you actually dissect what causes them to be that dot on the graph, it's the policies that were actually enacted and the rippling effect thereof. And if you weigh that out, you're going to have, a 96 Bill Clinton is going to be right behind Ron Paul. Because, and that's, Bill O'Reilly, when he was still in the air.
Libertarian, Ron Paul?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But what has he actually gotten past? Jack squat. Because that was like the main critique that Bill O'Reilly had for Ron Paul when he was still on Fox News was, Ron Paul says that, he's got this big following, but, he's been in Congress this many years, and how many bills has he passed? 13. And I'm like, yeah, like that's awesome. You've been in Congress. You've been in Congress more years than you've passed bills. Freaking fantastic, man. I love that. I want you to get up there and kick up your feet and go golfing with the president and do nothing. Stop doing things, please.
Yeah.
You're doing things is costing me a lot of money.
This is like
it's costing me my way of life. Yes.
In the spirit of Bill O'Reilly, what say you, Zane?
So a lot of these like political compass things are like, I'm not going to call them dumb, but I don't think that they exactly measure what everybody thinks that they do. Like, especially the political compass test that everyone is familiar with, where, you've got your economic left-right axis and then your up and down socially authoritarian or libertarian axis, which seems to be what this textbook was going for, although they may have just put the dots where they wanted rather than try to answer a series of questions acting as all of these people.
Right.
Like, I think there was obviously some bias in terms of where those dots were placed. But especially for like the standard political compass test, I think it's much more accurately described as a worldview compass rather than a political compass. Because your idea, and this is the point that I try to make to all of my Christian friends when it's revealed that I'm a libertarian and they think that that's cringe for good reason. I'm like, what politics is what do you think the state should do? That is very narrow. It's not the philosophy of the rest of your life. So like the last time that I took the political compass test, I ended up about where the Ron Paul dot was on this one, which is economically pretty much all the way to the right, but socially a little bit libertarian, but not that much. And the reason is because in order to be socially like fully libertarian on the political compass test, you essentially have to be like okay with everyone in society acting like a complete degenerate loser. It's not enough to say I don't think that the government should use violence and coercion to prevent that. It's that you have to be like saying, yeah, that's great if people just want to take drugs and have sex with prostitutes.
You have to say it's great, but you say it's their choice. But I get what you're saying.
Well, I'm saying that in order to be like the fully libertarian on the political compass test, you pretty much have to answer the questions in a way where you cannot say you think that that's bad, which I do think it's bad.
So the way the questions are asked is what you're saying.
The way the questions are asked, a lot of those questions are not what do you think the state should do, which is what I think politics is. It's what do you think it would make for the ideal society? Which
your perfect morals are different than what you think the role of your government should be regarding that.
Amen.
Like, that's very different. Yeah.
Amen.
Which I suppose if you go all the way back to like Plato, you could make the argument that actually politics is this study of how to make a good society. Therefore, you could call it the political compass, even if you're not laser focused on the state. But in a modern context where politics is the state, and it doesn't refer to other institutions in society, I think that to use the word politics that way would be archaic and misleading.
I think as far as this like initial question about this, I think presidents are largely just fucking ball playing, dick sucking puppets, and that the deep state is running the show. And I think there's a general trajectory of this country, and it's like red or blue. It's like play ball, and you're either gonna. It's like we need a war, and it's like who's gonna do it, and it's this pendulum swing of like, well, when people get tired of this flavor of it, then we move to this flavor of it. Speaking of, we were just talking about this with Trump, where it's like he ran on being like anti-war and whatever. And then here we are, fucking, he's doing it before even the next goddamn person color gets in. It's just, it's
Whose
it's all
dick
the
are they
same.
sucking, Alden?
Whose dick? I don't know.
Whose dick?
Skunkworks dick, because it's a stinky dick, you know?
Well, I mean, that's if people get in politics, and are they getting in politics because they think they can make real change, or are they getting in politics because they
I think
recognize
some
the
people
opportunity?
do on a smaller level, but I think that those people don't get allowed to move up very far, to be honest. I don't think most of the time, I don't think the people that are at the level of the president are those people. I think maybe the person that's running for your local whatever soil fucking management or whatever the hell Zane did or whatever, like those people might be.
That's what Zane's running for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dirt people, you know, your local dirt guy, vote for your dirt guy. You know, like he might care about what's going on, but like when we're talking about like the president, the highest office in the land, I think it's fucking pretty curated actually as to who is allowed to even be there. We saw this even with just recently, and I'm not saying I'm the biggest fan of Bernie or whatever, but with Bernie got the boot from his own party because he wasn't playing ball, and he got actual grassroots groundswell within the party, and they were like, "Oh, we can't have that because because Hillary is sucking all the dick, you know." And they were like, "No, she's the fucking dick sucking show pony over here, and we can't have this guy getting in the way of that with this organic actual movement." And they were like, "Get out of here!" Like, anyway, there was the whole emails thing with that with the DNC, whatever.
But that question though.
And then Huma Abedin would disagree with the action you're talking about.
She's
there,
the muff sucker.
Yeah.
She's the
Whatever.
muff sucker.
You know, pick your pleasure.
Scissoring.
You know, yeah. But
And now she's married to Alex Soros. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Who there was just a big donation from the Soros Foundation to.
Well, she was married to Carlos Danger. Who was the
Anthony Weiner?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Weiner, Danger, and Sore Ass. These are some
That's
weird
funny.
last names.
I was on a show
dude.
the other day, and somebody was like, "Who was Michael Vick's name?" And I think they said Carlos Danger, and I didn't even realize it was Anthony Weiner until just now. I was like, "I don't think it's Carlos Danger," but yeah, it's Anthony Weiner.
Yeah.
Well, Ron Mexico was Vick's alter ego.
There
But
you
that's
go.
the question a lot of people ask: is who is they? Whose dick is being sucked? Do
I
we even know who
I
they
honestly would point to like the CIA, for instance, or whatever, like, you know, the intelligence agencies, the people that work behind the scenes or whatever. Anyone that can be able to be like, if you're publicly funded, but then the public goes, "Hey, what are you working on?" And they're like, "It's classified." Like, and if they don't have to fucking disclose it to you, they're the they. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are the main factors, right? So you have money, power, influence. Whoever commands most of that in the world, that's who can just hang it out there and be like, "Hey, you don't like what I'm saying? Suck it."
Yeah.
Whatever world leaders are in the room, there's like, yeah, whatever. Do what you got to do. Play it, spin it how you got to spin it. This is what's happening.
Right. So you guys don't think it's the Jews?
I mean,
I wouldn't have said that.
Sorry, I'm just.
I mean,
that's
look,
what everybody says now. So I want to say that I don't think everything is Israel. I
right.
think that everything should be up for question. I think everybody should be a potential suspect when it comes to anything.
Well, if you want to bring anthropology into it and go into like racial IQ and all that kind of stuff, I'll dabble into that. That's the Ashkenazi sect is the super high IQ.
What is that?
They're a group of people that really understand Rick and Morty.
There you go. Yeah. But that's the Rothschilds are from the just for instance, the Rothschilds are from the Ashkenazi subsect of the Jews. Yeah.
That's the most interesting way I've ever heard that said, Zane.
I have like 2 friends that worked on that show. That's actually weirdly funny.
Well, and so talking about politics, though, I've heard Roger Stone say it recently on a podcast that politics is just show business for ugly people.
Oh,
And,
yeah, the behind the
like,
scenes.
as-
You guys
soon as-
seen Get Me Roger Stone on Netflix?
Yeah.
So that's why whenever even con artists say things that are true sometimes. Everybody says things that are true, so nothing should be
A con artist
dismissed
would
outright.
have to say
Of course,
some things
propagandists
that are
rely
true
on the truth to lie.
to
You have
get
to
you
tell the truth
in
to
the
lie.
door. Yeah.
People don't. People. That's a hard time. Like people have a hard time with that. Is that the people who are going to lie to them are the ones who are speaking most to their heart, so they win their trust, so they can then lie to them. And the people who they hate are also saying things that are true sometimes. So you shouldn't dismiss everything they say.
Yep.
But
we talked about this the first time that I saw you on our show, and we talked about this, the concept of like the truth sandwich, like where you sandwich a lie
Right.
between the truths. Because
And-
otherwise, if you just come out lying out of the gate, no one's going to believe you. You got to work them in.
You got to hook people in, and
Yeah.
so Roger Stone says things that are true sometimes, but also just because Roger Stone, because I see people sharing Roger Stone stuff as though it's like truth. I'm like, look, maybe it's true, but also
You
have
realize he's a
seen
hatchet
Get Me
man.
Roger Stone. He's
Yeah.
literally a proclaimed political dirty player. Like that's
Yeah.
what his claim to
Hitler-
fame
He's
is.
he's a
He
hatchet man,
manipulates.
and he has been for 60 years. I mean,
And
like,
he's got a tattoo of Richard Nixon on his back, and he's
That's
like a
weird.
homosexual who pretends to be straight. It's like weird. But
Ah,
but none of
bold
that
says.
matters when it comes to the content that comes out of his mouth.
There you
None
go.
of that does. What the content is analyzed,
his
isolated of the mouth it
proclivities
comes out of.
his proclivities get him into certain circles and open people up to him because they think that their sin is above his. Kind of, I don't know how else to word that, but like,
He's
hey,
got a
my,
cock holster on his face.
there you go. Right. Right.
Never heard
Yeah.
that. I think we take advantage of this, and like with the system where like we'll associate things that we want to be considered false in certain groups with people that will discredit it or whatever. Like the concept of like if Hitler likes waffles, does that mean waffles are bad? No, you know what I mean? But like having someone like trotting someone out like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Trump or whoever, and then they have a fan base and they have people that hate them. And if you have them say a certain thing, like I remember like Marjorie Taylor Greene one time was talking about like 9/11 or whatever. And she was saying some shit about 9/11. Now, she said 9 crazy fucking things before this thing. And then this one particular thing, I was like, actually, I agree with that. But now it's hard because then I go to talk to my family and they'll say something about fucking Marjorie saying this thing about 9/11 or whatever. And I'm like, now I'm like in a position where I'm like, okay, now I have to separate this from the person saying it. Like, because I'm like, I want to defend the thing. I don't want to defend every single fucking thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene has ever uttered.
Right,
I don't
because
know.
when you point out the thing that was truthful, the response is all of
Yes.
the things that were bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like a person can either be true or false. That's it. There's no gray area.
And
like,
that's
yeah.
that is the trick of modern propaganda, is that right there.
Mhm.
Yep.
Is being able to, because we're conditioned to say, oh well, that person's full of shit. Well, yeah, assume everyone's full of shit.
Don't have idols.
And that's
Think
what
in
makes you
terms
that's
of-
what makes you lizard people, is because you can habitually shed your skin. You can have Obama over there in Egypt in mom's jeans doing the shahada that scares the local imam because he does it in a more perfect accent than he does.
Yeah,
And then 10 minutes later, he's in front of a microphone espousing Austrian economics.
and he's
Talking
writing in
about-
his book that he's gay, basically, in one of his books.
There you go.
It's just like, and,
But-
it's
but
all,
it-
it's all
but
like,
it's-
everything is fodder for conspiracy.
But you have to cast a smoke screen to play with your shadow puppets.
and
you know?
that's so like the main influence tool is personalities that you relate to and you identify with, and it's human nature, and it's an exploitation of that human nature, and we have to be Spock. We have to recognize that, and we have to say that doesn't mean that we have to dismiss everything. It just means that we have to recognize that
separate thought from thinker, art from
Right.
artist.
And the
and-
worst case scenario is if somebody that you identify with says something that you believe, and you say, this is a person who would manipulate me. They would send this person, that's somebody I didn't believe, to tell me something that isn't true to get me to believe it.
I've always thought this about the concept of the Antichrist. Like,
well, it can be
would it
applied
be
to
some
that.
unlikable asshole?
But
Probably not.
If you try and disprove it, though, if you say, before I believe this, because my instinct is to believe it because I like the person. If I try and disprove it, this is what you learn in law school: is to have the best argument. You got to know how your argument's going to be attacked, because that way you can either defend it or you know that you're not going to win. And if you go at that claim that you want to believe and you find out it's not true, then great, you didn't get bamboozled. But if you find out that it is true, then you have an argument that nobody can defeat.
Or there's
And
like
you've
the
actually
Don
proven
Draper
the
approach,
argument.
where it's like, if you don't like the argument, change the conversation, like, which is a whole different tactic as well. If you know you don't have a good case, then it's like, get people talking about something else, like.
Yeah, and that's how you know you're doing good when you're just talking. And the whole thing about an argument too is we have this whole debate bro culture, which is bullshit, because it's all about one side or another. They have an audience that already agrees with them, and no matter what happens, it's going to
prove
say
me
they
wrong.
won, and they're just trying to get engagement to pump up the profits and their X feed or whatever.
Yeah.
But so a real discussion isn't trying to win. A real discussion is being open-minded and trying. Both of you want the same goal, which is to get closer to the truth. Which unfortunately, because of the way media, it's like a
the combination of the way media
provocateur,
works
essentially,
and the way
to
the
try and
ego
divide and
works.
conquer.
Yeah, it's tough. It can be.
Yeah, nobody's like us, guys. We're the best.
We're the only 4 people in existence.
Well, and that's if you read the book "Behold a Pale Horse," that's one of. So Bill Cooper
It's
talks
tough.
in that book. He says, some of this is crap, some of this is real. And then, one of the stories in that book is, Eisenhower's on a
Did you
warship.
say Israel?
Is real.
Yeah.
No, there's actually, never mind. I'm not.
But, Eisenhower's on there and they're unveiling, the most devastating weapon known to man. And then they roll out this whiteboard and then they, unveil it. And it's just
the TV.
a description
yeah.
of how to use psychology and common
Dude, it's
vernacular
true,
to
man.
assuage public
It's
opinion.
so true.
It's been a lot. I've read the Behold a Pale Horse, but it's been years. But
the studies they've done, they're 100 years ahead of us in these psychological studies. They've done that, but they're also just people, and they're pussies and they're cocksuckers and they're faggots, and so
the theme
we
of
just
this
have to
episode,
recognize
cocksucker.
that.
Well, and we know
I mean
the
that in a
Persian Empire
douchebag
is no
way.
different, right? I mean, like we see the Persian Empire in full display right now, doing all of that.
Yeah,
Same thing that we're doing.
it's
We're
this
sucking
idea
cocks.
that you shouldn't believe your own.
Well,
your-
Lindsey
your
Graham is in
own
Disneyland.
ability to decipher the truth. You should. They want to make people think they're weak and stupid.
Yeah,
And that's what a lot of the propaganda is, that because no political party is ever like, hey, you don't need us. That's never
that
the
wouldn't
message.
be great for them. Yeah.
It's you're stupid. There's problems only we can fix. And even the ones that promote small government do the same thing.
This
Yeah.
is like the COVID. Like, don't do your own research.
Except like with the exception of what Ross Perot, right? Like
Right.
yeah, like
All right,
we
Zane,
all.
sorry, Zane, you've been quiet throughout all this, listening and observing. So I want to hear your thoughts before we move on to the drunkard of the week and then wrap up.
So you haven't ventured far enough into any realms where I felt like I had to jump in and push the brakes.
Mhm.
So I think it's totally true that people know how to manipulate public opinion in their favor. I guess, and I know we've had this conversation before, especially on the 9/11 episode, where it's like that all this talk of how the people in power just are 3 steps ahead of us all the time, and they've got everyone under their thumb. It's not even that I don't believe that it's true. It's just that I don't want to believe that it's true, and therefore I'm not going to.
That's interesting.
Well, so the solution there, so to not believe, and I think that's good. I think the solution is one-on-one conversations and talking to people, because when people are connected to their screens, they're a lot more likely to fall, I don't want to say victim, but to be vulnerable to such manipulation. And I think people are like I think people can see the truth when you speak to them in a way that's not just instantly triggering, which you have these language landmines online, which just cause instant division. And the way to get attention online is to say the most extreme thing. In person, I've never met someone who has a big profile online who is as ridiculous as they are online in person. I'm always kind of taken aback. I'm
like a caricature.
You've never met Grant Cardone, apparently.
No, I have not.
Have you ever met Mark Levin?
No. Well, I haven't met Mark Levin.
Or Neil Bortz,
what he's like
for
in
that
person,
matter.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be funny if they were actually exactly like their online personas.
Yeah.
This is though interesting, Zane, that like I feel like every time I talk to someone about some heavy stuff like 9/11 or whatever, I do feel like my challenge is not to present information. It's this. It's like what someone quote doesn't want to believe is vastly more hard to like breach, this barrier, cognitive dissonance or
it's very
whatever.
strong. The avoidance of cognitive dissonance is powerful.
It's psychologically, it's why it worked. It's why fucking of 9/11 and shit like it works
Plato's
with people
cave,
because
dude.
it fits to
No,
the
no.
narrative more. Like
I don't think that it's cognitive dissonance, because cognitive dissonance is when your own actions are in contradiction to your beliefs, and so you change your beliefs to fit your actions. This is just, I have the option of believing something that is deeply unpleasant, or the option of believing something that is less so, and
the
therefore
unpleasant, that's dissonance. That is what dissonance is, though. Is like
No,
there's
that's-
like a vibration between like two sides.
It's a
and you
worldview. It's a
choose the
conflict in
easy
your
one.
worldview that you've held true, and something that completely shatters that worldview, which they call an ontological shock. Once you come face to face with that, and you either retreat and you go back and you believe a fiction, or you embrace this, which is very painful. It's what Aristotle called pain in learning, because it creates these new neural networks in your brain, and that's actually a painful thing. But it also, once you get over that hump, it transforms you. And then when you go and you tell people about it, they want to kill you.
Or like the allegory of the cave, like where everyone, the one guy gets free and tries to tell people, and then they're like, "You're fucking an idiot,"
Well, no, I think actually, I think that comparing your view of the state, or / your view of the role of the wealthy and powerful in society, I think comparing that to you living in a cave actually is giving the state and the rich and powerful way more importance and control over your own personal life than it really needs to have. Like, if you're focused on just like living your life, making friends, living in your community, then I don't see how like always dwelling on how completely screwed you are by the state and the rich and powerful, I don't see how that's actually helpful to you.
I would say that this would be a sound argument if the people that I were talking to in my life about this were truly just fine and dandy, doing their own thing, just raising kids and chickens and doing whatever. But they're like, no, I'm fine with the fucking government taking my taxes, and I'm fine with the TSA, and I'm fine with the infringement of the freedom of speeches, and I'm fine with someone coming to take guns, and I'm fine with whatever. Like, I have talked to people about this, that it's that underlying belief. It's not just that I'm removed from it and I have my own life. It's that I am actually living, I'm abiding by the boundaries of this reality that is set before me. It's very different if you are outside of it versus under it and don't recognize the impact of it. And so if you're saying what you're saying, I agree with you. If you're just totally outside of it and not wanting to let that be a power in your life, then
the power is within the individual,
a
libertarian principle. That I think that people can do what they can do on their own and control what they can control. And so I think both things can be true. We can give information to people, but the white pill is that the power lies within the individual to take actions that are within their control, that are right in front of them.
There's too many colored pills these days. I don't know what every fucking pill means.
The white pill's the good one.
Yeah. So
is it? That sounds bad. Why is that really right? Like, that can't be good.
I guess that's a good point.
That doesn't feel right.
So just a condensation of what we're talking about here. If you're in a long checkout line, say you're unfortunate enough to go to Walmart because they don't use cashiers anymore, You're in a long checkout line. Instead of looking at your smartphone, turn around and talk to somebody. Open up with a compliment. Boost them up, like Brad's saying. The power is in the individual.
Pull your pants up.
So how do you? There you go. Yeah, Hey, sweet ass cheeks, dude.
Yeah, I like your ass. That's a good.
Open the conversation with that. It's
a good way to get slapped or shot or something. Yeah,
but
I agree with you. I mean,
that's how. Because libertarians are notoriously terrible salesmen because we want to just be left alone.
I actually do that all the time. What you're saying, like if I'm just standing in line, I'll just start like making fun stuff and just talk.
There you go, and that's it. You lean in with a compliment, just like you're picking up a chick, but it's not always what you're doing, But empower the individual. That's how you grab their attention. It's not because the typical stuff they have this pre-programmed psychological resistance to. Is if you tell, hey, that's how they get you. I see you're browsing this app. I see you look. They're not gonna because they've been told to push back on people like you if you come at them like that.
And that's the challenge with talking about this stuff is having it go in a black pill, a disempowering way versus the way that I've always looked at it is the more that you can reveal about the way things work. Based on the understanding you can gain, is the more empowering it is, because the way society has been structured is it has created this barrier that tells you what you can't do unless you get certain, you check off certain boxes. But once you learn more and more about it, that illusion falls to the ground and you can actually do anything. So it's very empowering to realize that those structures aren't necessarily real and you can just kind of do things.
Can we go to the moon?
That's another show. Time for discussion for another show, I think.
Actually, I do want your answer in a couple sentences, if you can. In the past week, have humans gotten closer to the moon than they are on Earth?
I don't know why that whole story has been the least interesting story to me. I used to think we had, but years ago, I was like, we probably have breakaway civilizations. Now I have no idea. I don't know why. My whole thought on that has always been, if they tell us we've only explored 5% of the ocean, why are we going outward when we should be exploring what is here?
Well, the other 95%.
Well, you need to subscribe to the Gaia channel and listen to David Wilcock and Corey Good.
I remember David Wilcock.
Oh yeah. Listen to all that stuff, and we got breakaway civilizations.
I don't have any way of knowing what the truth is. So the moon landing video that we see, the original one, that to me is definitely not that's not a live feed. So they're not going to risk. Let's say we could do a live feed, even if we could back then. They're risking them stepping out of the ship and then an alien ripping someone's face off. Okay. They're not going to risk that. You step out one step from get their face ripped off. They're not going to risk that. So at the very least, it's a reenactment of something. But can there be some sort of reenactment of something that did happen? There could be. That both could be true. Could it be something that was a stage for purposes of trying to show our might to other countries? Also true, possibly. I have no idea. Can we get past, what's it called, the Van Halen belt or whatever?
The Van Halen,
I don't know. I have no way of knowing.
The Van Halen belt is actually really awesome.
Yeah, you got to get past that rock, dude.
The Eddie Van Halen belt. The only way to get past it is to shred an arm, bro.
Girls. Was that Poison?
That's Motley.
That was Van Halen. Yeah,
Motley Crue. Yeah, whatever. Motley Crue's up there. You can't get past the Motley Crue belt up there in space. I have no. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of this probably plays into this UAP narrative of disclosure, which is total bullshit. What they're doing. It's going to be. This goes back to what we talked about earlier. I think it's all a reason to pump up the development of weapons for the military. Industrial complex. There's weapons that we don't know where they come from. They're more powerful than us. We better pump some more money into that to meet them. But I used to want to believe. Now that the government tells us to believe, I'm like, go fuck yourself.
It's definitely interesting with that. I feel like that's its own episode though, and I don't want to get too into it. Right. But I do understand the reaction that you're having. Like when someone someone who's been a fucking lifer in the government is like, hey, aliens are real. You're like, nah, fuck off. You know what I mean?
Fuck
Like
this guy. And they're like, he's the most autistic guy who doesn't understand social cues, which they said about David Rush. And the guy who interviewed him, the British guy, they said he doesn't understand social cues or emotions. I'm like, oh, so he doesn't understand if the people he's interviewing are being sarcastic? And this is the guy. Because David Rush could be like, hey, are aliens real? And the insider that he's citing to Congress could be like, yeah, they're real. But he doesn't get that. And this is what the guy who interviewed him said, that he doesn't understand that. And so that there, and then you look at David Rush's background, it's like, this guy has some issues, and he seems like somebody who's easily manipulatable. So he might believe what he's saying. And then you have this guy with the weird goatee, like the weird, like if a pedophile was like a goatee, it was like this thing he has on his face. He's got like a pedophile on his face, and he's the main guy who's like, he's saying, can we get some guys who don't look like give me somebody who you might let babysit your kids at least. Not somebody you want to keep.
Okay, yeah. So Stephen Greer
away from them.
What about Stephen Greer?
Stephen Greer is the creepiest fucking guy I've ever seen in my life. Like Stephen Greer is so full of shit. I used to like Stephen Greer, and he looks like a pimple
go camp out
that
in the
needs to be
desert for 5
burst,
days with him and 4 other dudes and try to make contact by sending love into the sky.
And I say all this, and people get mad at me. Like, I believe aliens probably exist. I do. But what they're telling us is they're never going to reveal it to us, because if they revealed the existence of aliens,
and if
it
they
would tell us
that
there's something more powerful than them. And they don't want to be they want to be the most powerful thing in our lives.
If they reveal it, I do suspect there would be an ulterior motive and an angle.
It would be we're equally powerful. It would be that. It would be we are.
Or it'd be like, maybe we're not, and we got to spend money on more weapons or whatever. And like, I
they
don't
can do
know,
that, but it's like if we find out that there's something more powerful than the government, that's when a revolution will happen. That's when people who are at the pinnacle of power aren't going to be like, there's somebody more powerful than us.
Or would it be when people feel they need their government the most because it's the best shot they have? Like, I don't know, honestly.
The fear of it. So you're talking about the fear of something coming. You're talking about Project Bluebeam.
Yeah.
Is what like a fake alien invasion type thing.
Yeah, but Bruce Willis has dementia and Chuck Norris is dead. So who the hell do we have?
Bruce Willis didn't want to get the shot.
Right?
That's another subject.
A topic for a new episode, I think, honestly. I didn't mean to crack open quite a can of worms with the moon.
You really triggered me there, Alden. You really fucking triggered me.
Yeah. That's all good.
I mean, who do we have? Arnold Schwarzenegger? Is Arnold Schwarzenegger going to save us?
The last one, and his son that he had with the
Ronnie Coleman with his back issues now. Like, what?
It's just crazy. We're supposed to go to the drunkard of the week a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're the drunkards of the week.
You might be right about that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, why you open that? Look, 101, Maduro signed it. Maduro, 2nd of April, Venezuela forever. 6'9", 101.
SpongeBob?
Oh, my God.
What?
So this guy gets out of...
Yeah, so 6ix9ine gets out, and he's got Maduro signed merch. He's going straight to King Golden. I promise you.
What does 6ix9ine mean?
Tekashi 6ix9ine. He's a rapper.
It's like 6'7", but better.
My birthday's 6'9". Am I a rapper?
Right, yeah.
Is it really 6'9"?
Yeah, it is.
Wait a minute.
June 9th.
My God, that's my girlfriend's birthday.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Lindsey Graham has entered the chat.
Yeah. Is that right? All right.
I technically never see you and my girlfriend at the same time because I'm always in this room. And then when I sign off, she's in there. Are you my girlfriend?
Aliens are real.
Let's go on and move on to the wrap up if we could.
Oh, ridiculous.
I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Hello? You still there?
That's funny.
Hello?
Oh, that's great.
I love it.
It should have been Zelensky. It should have been Zelensky on the phone.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say we were
Look
just
at
talking
this
about it.
chick here. Is it a real person?
She's freaking
there
me
we go.
out.
Mother's dead, but in water. Wife's dead with balloons. Father's dead. The father's dead. Father's dead.
Look at
Parents,
the movies.
parents are dead, and the brother will also die. This one is about death.
When did she take her top off?
Yeah.
Yeah, these TikTok videos, I
A lot
don't
of dead
even
dads.
understand them. A lot of dead dads. you
Who
know?
needs dads? Sorry, Steven.
Yeah. Right.
No, is tongue in cheek,
Yeah.
We
What
all
do you
need
mean by
dads.
tongue in cheek.
Something you shouldn't do with your dad.
What are you doing later?
Yeah.
Joel
true.
Owsley Cheek has entered the chat.
It's very true. All right. All right, guys. I think this is time for the wrap up here? What do we do with the wrap up? Does everybody
This
say
is where
what
we
it-
compared, I think, dick sizes on screen. And
All right. Well, you
Yeah,
go
it's fine,
first.
yeah.
Well, this is where we say voteplacie.com. Zane Placie is running for
Zane. Yes, definitely.
Soil
Yeah,
and Water
Zane, tell everybody
Conservation
about your
Manager
campaign.
for
That's-
what
that's
district?
So I am running for Fulton County Soil and Water Conservation District Supervisor.
dirt guy.
Which, as I always say, I need to run for this position to find out what they do, just like Obamacare.
Are you pro or anti data center? I think that's going to be the defining factor of your campaign.
Yeah.
Let me get back to you with the answer that I think you would want to hear.
There you go. That's a good answer.
Hey, there we
Well,
go.
check Zane out. Zane's a good guy. Zane is an honest guy, and Zane will get in there, and I think he'll tell you the truth about what goes on there.
He
So-
knows his dirt,
He's a smart guy.
If you-
so, yeah.
There have actually been a surprising number of people who seriously want to interview me, and I did an interview back in January on the Free Georgia podcast. So if you want to hear me not joke about it and actually talk about it kind of seriously, go and check out Jake's other show, Free Georgia Podcast, episode 99. But to briefly answer your question, Stephen, about the data centers, I think it's very silly whenever a politician ever says, oh, I'm going to get in there and run the government like a business. Because even if you wanted to do that, the very structure and nature of the government does not provide you with the kind of information that you would need to make decisions the way that a business does. Namely, you don't get any profit signals because the government steals people's money and then builds stuff that people don't have to pay for mostly.
And then you can have a terrible business model like the post office, and it survives somehow.
Well,
So
absolutely.
and
then the number one object of business is to grow it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the
good
closest
point.
thing that you can do is try to make decisions in a way that the courts would if the courts were private instead of public. So like if I was a judge on the soil and water court, like essentially if we didn't have a government and instead the way that society operated was by bringing claims to a court, to respected judges, and it's like, hey, this guy was not properly managing his soil and that therefore there was a bunch of erosion and it harmed my property, you've got to do something about that. That's the kind of thing that would arise under like an anarcho-capitalist system. And so if you can make decisions the same way that you think that you would if you were in that position, then that's probably the best decision that you would make. Unfortunately, doing that is really difficult, but I think that I would be in a better position to do it than the bureaucrats that are in there now. So if you want a tiny improvement over the status quo, vote for me.
I love that. If you want
I
a
think that
tiny
that's a great-
improvement. Yeah.
I mean, that's an honest
Yeah.
answer. So
If you want a marginal upgrade, I'm your guy.
All right, Steven, tell everybody what you want to, your final words.
My final words, I mean, just on the war in general, what's going on today is, just follow the money. The currency's in trouble. The U.S. dollar's in trouble. It's in the tank. This is the central theme of this entire podcast from its outset is Bitcoin is real money. Decentralization is the answer. So if you want to look at, the shell game, who's playing shadow puppets, what's going on, It has to do with the money. They're trying to save face. They're trying to preserve their control. That's what it's all about.
All right. Alden?
I would say two things. One is, just to be safe, stock up on Spam and toilet paper and bullets. It doesn't hurt you to have them. They all last for forever if you keep them the right way. And also, this Kirkland lager was way better than both Natty Light and the High Life. It's superior.
Deschutes for the win.
Lager.
It is Deschutes. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What about price wise? Which one is more expensive?
I think this one's a little bit more, but
worth it in taste.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. And you guys,
it's like 80 cents a can versus like $1.08 a can.
Well, in this economy, though,
yeah,
that's a lot, though. The gas prices. I went to get gas on the way up here, and all the pumps were empty because when Trump announced a ceasefire, the oil prices dropped, and so people went to go get gas. I don't know if it even affected gas prices really.
I've had a full tank all week.
It was crazy that all of the gas pumps were empty, except for like the premium gas, but. Thanks for letting me host the show, guys. It's always fun talking to you guys. And you guys can find at Freedom Act Radio on X, and all my links are in bio, so you can get access to all of it there. Thank y'all, and I don't know how the typical sign out is, but
fuck you and peace, both.
Join the crew and let's